All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. This is the Sunday show. We're going to be talking about what transpired yesterday night, Canelo's domination over Charlo. We'll be taking phone calls as well later on. And shout out to everybody in the chat, Dante Merlo, Martin, Never Sobers, Charcoal, who else do we have here? Zero Cool, Windy City, Flex Luther, Grievous, Earl Stevens, Knockout Ned, Real Talk Boxing, who says Tyson Fury ain't the king till he goes undisputed. Well, we'll also be debating that topic. Who is the king of boxing? I don't know if that is important, but yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, let me just invite a few people here on the panel. Because yesterday, if you missed the show, Mr. BDA took phone calls. You should watch that show. He went on for 2 hours, I think, 1 or 2 hours. Like, it was a great show. A lot of interesting takes from you guys. But today we're gonna be talking with the panel first, and then we will move on to some more phone calls. All right, BDA, hold on, because you're gonna get kicked out. Because I'm gonna invite more people, and you know how it works. Fucking Discord. Recognize Gonzalo. I think that's his account. So yeah, guys, let us know what you thought about the fight. If you didn't have a chance yesterday, did Charlo come to fight? Because this is something I'm hearing now, that Charlo, he didn't really show up. He talked a big game, and he just didn't show a lot of heart in there. Jimmy, welcome to the show. Let's get your take. Jimmy.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's not going to be nice. I'm telling you that right now, my take.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. His dare to be great moment turned out to be a dare to survive embarrassment, and instead has done irreparable harm to his legacy with that gutless performance. Yeah, there's my take.
Oh, my. What was your prediction again? Let me check the prediction.
I predict that the corner would save him because I actually thought he might try to engage.
Do you blame?
That was it.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't blame Derrick James for not throwing it in a towel. I mean, I would have said, like, God, what are you doing? Ass out punches, not putting anything on his. Did you see after a couple of times at the end when Canelo, I've never seen him do it before, put his hands out, like, really? Just walking right at him, like, are you serious? A couple of times he hit him with shots. He'd look at him, like, smirk. Because as he's throwing his power, like, I watch it, put in super slow motion, you literally see the transfer of weight. As he's throwing his combinations, he's pulling his body backwards. He got clipped in the second round. See, like, that's always my game plan. I tell anybody, like if you're going to train somebody, the first time you catch him clean, make sure you give it to him good. Because if you can rock him, it changes everything about their mindset. Because they're like, fuck, this dude can hit. And it just changes people, because at the end of the day, people are people, man. Nobody wants to get knocked out. And he had nothing for him. And then there's comments after, well, at least I didn't get knocked out like those other guys. Like, seriously, dude?
He basically brought up the weight. The fact that he moved up 2 divisions, and like you said,
in the ring rust. Yeah, and run up the ring rust. I wasn't myself in there.
But no excuses.
I'm not making any excuses for myself. But I mean, it's not even an excuse. I mean, that's true. The ring rust, I knew him. And like you said, my timing was off, and fucking wasn't myself in there. Yeah, you cannot take that much time out of the ring. Listen, the 3 guys from the PBC who headlined the last two fights, the headline, the co-main, the 3 PBC fighters combined had an over 4 years out of the ring before last night's fight.
Okay, so you agree with what he said about the reasons why?
But it wasn't like we didn't know that. We knew that going in. Right. That's one of the reasons why I pretty much gave him no chance. It was ring rust above everything. Look how good you are. You can't take that much time. You don't get your punch calluses. You don't react well to shots. Like, he was like, oh, Jesus. If he was fighting on the regular, he would have taken them punches better. But you can't just not get punched in the fucking face for 15 months and then get punched in the face by Canelo Alvarez and expect it not to really fuck you up. And that's why he ran.
Jermel didn't get stopped, which is what a lot of people predicted. So do you give who's to blame here? Is it Canelo, the way he fought, loading up on a lot of those punches, or is it Jermel? Due to his, boxing skills, I guess he was moving a lot. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He kept his hands high the whole time. So why couldn't he stop him?
Like I said, going into the fight, there is a way Charlo can fight, make it out of the, go the whole 12. I said without a doubt. It would all be down to conditioning. And he was in good condition lung-wise. He was able to run and do everything he could avoid to be in that fight last night, right through 12 rounds. So it's very hard to knock somebody out who doesn't want to engage.
That's true. BDA, you want to jump in here? Or who else is
I'll be brief because I'll go on longer after everyone goes because I already talked a little bit yesterday. But to Jimmy's point about the power, yeah, that's a very good point. Get the other guy to feel your power early. Now you make him doubt. Now you make him anticipate. Oh shit, this guy can hurt. In other words, now you got him following you, not following you in the terms of movement, but in terms of he's the one that's thinking now about what you're doing.
Exactly.
Opposed to about what he's gonna do.
Exactly.
And that was my fear just coming into, if you guys remember, I said, my fear is that Jermel doesn't let his hands go. And that's what happened. He
I kept telling people it was going to be a boring fight. I said, more than likely, it's going to be a bad fight. It's definitely not going to be one you're going to keep in your DVR. I think I said that to the last caller I asked her, said, what do you guys predict? I said, I bet you it's not going to be a fight you keep in your DVR. Because I expected him to move, but not to that degree.
Right. And he said, I remember he mentioned he knocked a lot of these other guys out. He couldn't knock me out. And then I started looking at the list. He stopped Caleb Plant. He stopped Smith. Callum Smith. He stopped Billy Joe Saunders. These are super middleweights. So,
yeah. And I was going to say, even to you know what? And I got to give it up. Even there's a lot of black dudes on Twitter who are even bashing him. Like they're like, bullshit, dude. Fuck out of here with that shit. Although there was a couple of dudes I seen where, but he knocked out them white boys. Like, really? Is that what we're bringing this down to? You got that royal victory? Well, there you go. Go back to your fucking cockroach and fucking infested apartment and fucking celebrate, shitbag. Like, seriously, get fuck out of my mentions.
So, okay, before we continue, Never Sobers, your take on the fight.
Yo, so I think I predicted a 9th round stoppage for Canelo, and that was on I made that prediction, whatever, thinking that Charlo was actually going to come to fight and actually go for it a little bit. I thought he had more heart than his older brother, and he kind of don't. So he came in, he phoned it in. He did all that wolfing, and he didn't do none of that in the fight. And then he wanted to cry in the post-fight press conference. That was the funniest part, dude. The whole time they're asking him questions, you could tell he was holding back tears. His eyes were watering. And right before he really broke down, Floyd Mayweather came, and I don't know if he was trying to save him or if he was just trying to steal the spotlight, because they ended up having to kick Floyd Mayweather out of the press conference for Canelo because he wouldn't stop talking. He brought in that kid, Carmel Owen.
We have the
Carmel.
Yeah,
we'll get the video. Yeah.
Oh shit! It well then I don't know if y'all want to say what happened then, if y'all gonna show the video.
BDA, do I play the whole thing or what?
It's
pretty long.
It's worth it.
It's like 20 minutes.
The one I gave you is a condensed version. It's from Boxing Barbecue on Twitter. I think he edited it. And you'll understand why when people say Mayweather did great numbers, because people wanted to watch him lose because he was playing up the bad guy angle. As you can see by the footage that we're about to play, that's the real Mayweather.
Well, I'm just going to play the audio because it's complicated here. I'm just going to play the audio, all right? Is that good enough? BDA. Do we need to show video?
If you can't play the video, then just play the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if you play the video.
Before, and I had a dream. All these guys for many, many years said, oh, this is the guy that's going to beat Floyd. And this is the guy that's going to beat Floyd. And I proved them all wrong. Steven, I want to say, thank you just for believing in me. When no one else believed in me, you guys believed in me. Every day I wake up, I'm happy that...
Pause it real quick. Mind you, this is, because you can see the video, this is in front that Carmel, whatever that guy name is, the new prospect. This is in the press conference. He's up there on the podium, and Mayweather barged into the podium, and now he's talking while Carmel is just standing there, just awkwardly smiling, and everyone's just has to go.
Well, yeah. What happened was that Floyd Mayweather went in there and kind of pulled Charlo out of the interview. He kind of told him like, you got to go, because Jermell sees him, he hugs him, and he goes, all right, I guess that means I got to go, and he walks off stage a little bit, and then Floyd Mayweather comes up with this kid, and he goes, hey y'all, this kid's the future. Y'all ask him something. And they ask him something, and the kid opens his mouth to answer, and Floyd Mayweather pushes him out the way, and he goes, look, man, this is why I'm so great. You know what I mean? Like,
God blessed me with healthy children. Yes, I had a great career. Yes, I made a bunch of money. But one of the most important things about my career was my defense. And it's crazy. My Uncle Jeff, he's right there. He has the Mayweather channel, so you guys can show love and support him on YouTube.
What's going on, Jimmy?
Oh, he's actually fucking doing a shout out to his uncle's channel.
The guy's just, and the other guy just standing
like, are
there.
you fucking serious, dude? You pathetic fucking.
This is how bad part of the loss was, I think, for them. For all of them, bro, they all feel it. Like I talked about when Deontay Wilder got knocked out, they all feel that shit. He had to help save face for Jermell, and he went in there to be like, hey guys, don't remember, I'm the best there ever was.
Well, never sobers.
You know what I mean? Like
never sobers. I saw a bunch of pictures of Mayweather defeating Canelo all over Twitter. Like they're reposting that stuff. Like, oh, remember this? Remember this?
Never forget.
Never forget.
That fucking completely irrelevant individual who's so desperate. He's closer to 50 now than he is 40, and he's out there embarrassing himself. Well, actually, maybe closer to 40, but he's a grown-ass man. You're irrelevant, dude. Your last pay-per-view, dude, nobody showed up. There was more employees in the fucking arena than there was people who showed up to watch you fight.
Yeah, let me give my take. Let me give my take.
Oh, Mayweather?
No, well, that's the video. Go ahead.
See, I have my grandson there with me today, and that's a great thing that I'm able to play with him.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating myself on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we're going to know. In the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
They're going down the list here. All right.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
No.
You did.
Who?
Last one.
You did, Daddy.
I like how the guy asking the questions immediately just bow down because he needs to keep getting that access to Floyd Mayweather. And
guys, maybe I wasn't following boxing then, but real quickly, Floyd Mayweather fucking showed up and fought himself and had the largest gate?
Yes.
No, exactly.
I mean,
that must have been crazy. I missed that.
I think that's why he fought on Cinco de Mayo all the time against Hispanic fighters, Mexicans for the most part.
No, not for the most part. He fought a lot of Argentinians. They say that.
I think Hispanic.
That Floyd Mayweather fought a lot of. He did, and he fought some Mexicans, and he fought Canelo when he was 23. But then he fought a lot of Argentinians too. Not so many Mexicans, because he knew it was gonna be a fucking chick that his fucking ass couldn't catch all the time. And Maidana brought it to him. Not so many Mexicans as people think. There was a lot of South Americans.
Let's continue.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You don't want to fight that Mexican.
Oh, no.
Where?
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
I was just saying,
Anyway, it's over. Yeah, so that was the video people talked about Mayweather's opportunity to try and steal the show, I guess.
But wait. Never Sobers then said that they actually had to kick him out?
Yeah, what happened? What do you mean?
Well, he kept talking, and then someone, that dude, what's that guy? The guy who looks like the guy with the mole, the announcer that doesn't speak Spanish, the new one.
Oh yeah.
He started getting up on stage, and they all kind of started like pulling him, like they all started saying something to him, and he's like, "All right, well, Canelo's coming in, so you got to get the fuck out of here." And then after that, bro, it was like a 30-minute lull because I was watching it live. I wanted to see the reaction. Because I'm thinking like, yo.
But I want to say something. Hold on. Wait. Somebody motherfuckers.
I'm in the middle of something.
Somebody motherfuckers.
Wait. Bro, I'm in the middle of talking in the sentence, bro, and you're gonna fucking start talking. Wait, hold on. Shit.
What?
And then bro, I'm in the middle of saying something.
What?
I'm in the middle of saying something, Wade, and you start talking, dude. What's up with that?
What?
I'm in the middle of saying something, Wade, and you try to cut me off, bro. What's up with that?
What?
All right, Gonzalo.
Go ahead, Gonzalo. Say what you got to say, bro. Tell us about how everyone doubted you and no one believed in you with your prediction, and you were right. Go ahead and tell us, Wade.
No, you just spoke for myself.
Go ahead, Wade. Go ahead, tell us, bro.
Congrats.
You're not.
Tell us, Wade, how you're casual.
I don't gotta say shit. I'm proud to be on this channel, and I will I will throw some weight wherever I go. I will throw some weight, and people will respect me.
That's what's up, bro. So they had to kick Floyd Mayweather out the press conference, right? Because they said, "Hey, Canelo's coming, bro." And he's like, oh, okay. They pulled him off, and then the screen went blank. You know how they have transition screens? Like, we'll be right back. They showed that for about 30 minutes, and I'm thinking, like, is Floyd over there flipping tables and shit because they told him to leave? But Canelo came in eventually, and he did his questions, and everything went back to normal after that. But it was just funny, bro, how Floyd Mayweather tried to sneak his way in. They told him to get the fuck on.
Essentially, Mayweather's a narcissist through and through, because every time he's on a stage, he has to make it about everyone doubted me, my career. I mean, there was a point there where he started saying, most people talk about my career, but they don't understand the greatest point. My defense is now he starts getting into specifics when the guy is right there. So other people were pointing it out. Carmel or whatever his name is, he's 17. He doesn't know anything, man. But if he has his parents around or a good manager, whatever, they need to realize this Mayweather is poison. And people are going to point out, yeah, what about Tank Davis? Yeah, what about Tank Davis? 28 years old, and people say he's the face of boxing, blah, blah, blah. He's not making that much money. I've argued before, if they knew how to market him properly and push him properly, he'd be making way more money than what he is now. So this whole thing about how Mayweather really is a good promoter and that because they had Tank Davis in a good place, it's a good place, but it could be better. So they're fucking. Hopefully, this Carmel kid realizes that when you join the Mayweather team, it's about Mayweather. It ain't about you.
Exactly. And it's not the first time he does this. I remember at some point he would announce his next fight on the same date as Canelo when Canelo was fighting. So, yeah, this is calculated. This is all calculated. And it's quite
every time there's a big event, every time he tweets something out, he does something to interject himself into it because he can't stand the fact that he's just now not relevant. He can't stand it.
He's not.
And especially when another good example is this when Fulton fought Inoue and he got his ass knocked out. Floyd Mayweather had a whole 30-minute interview that no one really asked for about his opinions of the fight. And he went on like to kind of try to bash Inoue. And of course he inserts himself in there like, well, I did. You know what I mean? Like you guys are saying, classic narcissist, bro. You know, he's saying nobody believed in me. No one believed in my predictions for the fights. And you're all jealous.
Yeah. Like what? He's trying to play the victim now. It's ridiculous. I thought he controlled the sport and he was in charge and he could do whatever he wanted. All of a sudden, like the victim. And again, yeah, he thanked Espinosa for giving him a chance or something. It's like what? Like you were on HBO before. Like nobody was giving you a chance before. Like come on, man. What a fucking victim. Anyways, let's move on from this shit. Let's continue talking about Canelo and Charlo. So nobody wants to blame Derrick James, right? Because Derrick James was telling Jermell to let his hands go for it. You know, he told him you're losing this fight. So I don't know what else Derrick James could have told or said to Jermell. So is he or not to blame? Derrick James.
Well, I'll say this, man. Derrick James told him what he needed to hear. He told him the truth. He said, look, you got to go for it. You're standing around, you're not countering. And he did try to counter in certain spots, but like I said last night, if he would, Charlo's game, that's why I didn't pick him to win, obviously, because his game is move, stand, and counter with hooks. Against Canelo, that shit ain't going to work. And the more you stand, the more you're going to get hit. And you could tell Charlo felt those shots, hence why he was moving so much and clinching so much. So Derrick James told him what he needed to do, but he's not the one taking the shots. So, and again, some people made the argument last night, some of the callers, that, well, he should have gone out on his shield. I agree. Listen, I'm paying 100 buckaroos, 120 clams. That's boxing talk for dollars. And this guy chooses to go in there for the moral victory. Look, I know he's taking the punches, but we're shelling out hard-earned money here. We want to see you try, not go into the post-fight press conference and say, well, I just wanted to not get knocked down. That's a slap to the face to everybody that paid for this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
again, I'm not saying he should have rock him, sock him, robots, but fucking throw a couple more combos maybe.
I mean, he should say I tried, and that's it. I tried, but
I mean, he guys, he admitted he was in there to survive. That was your game plan, not to get knocked out. Well, fuck me, dude. Thanks for charging me $85 watching you try not get knocked out. Canelo was walking through his punches, showed no fear of anything coming at him because he wasn't putting any weight. He wasn't putting his weight over his front foot and fucking drilling those punches. You see Canelo's face? There wasn't a mark on it. Nothing. It was a joke. It was an embarrassment.
Super chat from Jose says bonsai. All right, he says bonsai. I don't know what that means. But
But
yes,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing, though. Again, I'm not saying Charlo has to go in there and trade and get his ass knocked out, but he himself is admitting that he didn't try by tacitly saying, well, I went 12 rounds. He's admitting, shit, like I couldn't do it. So don't attack us for saying we wanted to see a little bit more, or for wanting to see a little bit more, especially when we're paying for it, because he himself admitted by saying that he didn't, that he could have done more, he didn't. So that's what it is. As for Derrick James, look, it is what it is with this type of trainers. When you get top fighters, eventually they're going to start losing. But it's interesting that this often happens right after the trainer gets fighter of the year honors. It's almost like the fall comes hardest after the rise. And it's interesting because, look, Frank Martin should have lost against Honovasian, or however you pronounce his name. Spence got completely and utterly demolished against Crawford. And now Charlo loses his way. Oh, and Joshua hasn't been looking too hot. So now all of a sudden you start to see, maybe Derrick James was getting a little bit overhyped. I think that's fair to say. And I'm really curious to see what happens with Ryan Garcia, because he hasn't even had an official fight under Derrick James. And I don't expect this relationship to last too much longer, seeing as how Ryan loves to jump from trainer to trainer. And now that Derrick James is losing a little bit of his stable, of his luster, we shall see what occurs.
Did you see that asshole with his sunglasses on in the fucking crowd?
Yeah, that's...
I would have went over and got some fried dough or something with a lot of butter and just fucking put my fingers in the butter and smudged his glasses. Like, take them fucking things off, you silly prick.
I thought you were talking about the basketball guy.
Yeah, no, Garcia. I was sitting with his fucking sunglasses on. Ray-Bans too, so we couldn't even see them. I guarantee he's one of those dudes, you see them, and then during the fight they have to start putting their head down to look above their glasses because they can't see what's going on, but you're just so cool, the sun shines on you everywhere you go, right? Fucking Instagram bimbo.
Hey, bro, did you, I think Bucho was about to say how you were about to bring up how Steven Jackson was acting after the fight.
Yes. What's that about?
There was that video. Just entitlement. He's butthurt that his boys from Texas getting their ass whooped, and he was right there riding their nuts. Thinking that because this guy thinks he knows something about boxing because they gave him a check to talk about boxing, and he always, you know what I'm saying? So that's
whereas we don't know anything about boxing, and we talk about it for free, right?
Exactly. And how this dude was acting, bro, after the fight, acting like his little brother got beat up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how you expected maybe Jamal Charlo to act. But, they had Canelo's family coming out the stands, and this fool want to barrel his way through everybody. And they're like, hold on, man, let the Champ's family go through. And that's probably what made him act like that. When he heard let the Champ's family go through, and he seen it wasn't Jamal's family, Jamal's, he's like, fuck that. I'm not waiting. He stepped in front of a little girl. He stomped in front of a little girl trying to be intimidating to these people when it's like, the fight's over. I don't know where the energy has no place being there. And I don't know, it's just disgraceful, bro. It just shows how these fools can't take a L, man.
I'm playing the
They
video
can't even
right
watch
now.
somebody take a L. Nope. I'm sorry, man.
No, I'm just playing the video right now as you speak. Go ahead.
A lot of people aren't going to take it. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and make it sound like I'm great at it. But I mean, there's a difference when you start simping and making excuses and calling people out and blaming everyone, not taking any responsibility. I mean, Mel took a decent amount of responsibility on himself, but by doing so, and when we were in your room, your chat room yesterday, never so we're talking about it. He accepted the fact that he bought a loss, which is what a lot of people are accusing Crawford for doing the same thing if he follows through the same way. Since that fight hasn't happened yet, we're going to go down the path of what Maul did. Mel clearly went ahead and accepted buying a loss. Biggest payday he's ever had, biggest payday he's probably ever going to have. And all he did was just show up to, and you can see the look on his face when he got in the ring. He did not have any, like, his eyes ain't like, when Zab fought Costa, from the nose down, Zab looked like he was good for business, but from the eyes up, you could see that he was like a deer in headlights. Charlo didn't have anything about that at all. He did no expression on his face. Was like, I'm going to win tonight. I've got this. I'm in good shape. I have a chance. None of that was there. None of his actions were like that. Nothing happened to let you even slightly believe he thought he was in there to do anything other than get paid.
He was moving up the way. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say during the press fight, the post press fight conference, I think Dan Rafael asked him. He said "sellout" twice in his question, and it really bothered Jermell. He said, "Hey man, so at what you didn't have any? You knew you were kind of down. You didn't think like, oh, I'm just gonna sell out and go for it, or did you ever feel like selling out during the fight and just, they're really grilling him, dude. Like they're bug breaking him in that press conference. That's why Floyd had to save him."
Wow.
And Jermell said he was trying to answer the question. And he goes, I don't really know what you mean by sell out. And he goes, like, just go for it. Like, go all out and try to knock him out. And, and Jermell goes, well, I mean, there was no selling out whatsoever. Okay. But I tried to win the fight. Like,
Dan Rafael used to sell out. Right. Dan Rafael used to sell out on the other side instead of saying this was the setup and you sold out just for the paycheck. He was referring to, or did you just want to sell out and go for broke? And sounds like Mel took it as the way. The opposite way of no, there was not going to be any selling out. I did sell out. Therefore, you don't get that. They played the word on different sides.
He felt very accused.
Well, he knows because Jimmy, isn't that what you said? That's why he was crying because he was ashamed.
Of course, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's heavy on fucking social media. He's getting crucified for that performance. Boxing took it in the ass last night. The sport took another black guy. That was a fucking joke.
What did Floyd say to cover in? I didn't see the post fights. Never saw. But what happened and what did he say? If you could help me out.
Me.
He just stuck it out.
I'll go Floyd. Yeah, just talked about himself and his greatness.
He sure did, bro. He's like, here's Carmelo Moen. Ask him something. So, anyways, back to me.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the fucking Vegas police had to be called to the hotel when he showed up, and they had taken. He used to walk into where he had all his fights in Vegas, and had Mayweather everywhere, right in the lobby when you walked in.
Right.
Like almost a year after he retired, and when he took it all down, he showed up one night and caused such a scene. They called the Vegas police.
Oh, because they took all his stuff down.
Yep. The motherfucker goes on vacation by himself. Pitches at the pyramid, pitches at the fucking Lake Titicaca. He's by himself with all his friends. You know what I mean? Like this, it's just always, dude, he is what he is, man.
Definitely self-absorbed, egotistical narcissist.
So what's next here? What's next for Canelo Alvarez? He said he's willing to fight anybody. Nobody can beat him. That's what he said. And he said we are Mexico.
I mean, does Maul, imagine what was Maul next? Remember we said after Jamel, he's got to have to fight Maul. I'm like, no, he's not. Maul was the guy he was supposed to fight, but he just knew he had no chance because he was out of the ring even longer. So it's just,
I guess we have to wait.
Benavidez next?
I guess we have to wait to the end of Andrade Benavidez because supposedly that's going to become the WBC #1 mandatory interim whatever. So until that happens, he's there's no real mandatory pushed on him. So he can wait and see how the landscape comes out. And, of course, in the meantime, something could play out with Bud Crawford, even though most of us on this panel don't think that fight ever should be made for obvious reasons. However, business-wise, this fight might make sense if Crawford does one more impressive thing. Maybe moves up to 154 or annihilates Spence again, just to say, okay, well, I've done it twice. Now I'm out of contenders in my weight class. And then they could try and spin that aspect. I don't agree with it, but I think that can happen. So I think those are like the two front runners of the winner of Andrade Benavidez, and possibly Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford has a multi-fight deal with BBC right now also. Both of them are technically free agents with multiple fights left on their contract.
Crawford's got one left. One more fight. That's it. He signed a 2-fight deal. Yep.
Okay, and it's with Spence at the moment.
Yep.
So he's a free agent.
If he fights him again, it's over. Yep, it's over after the fight with Spence. He'd have to re-sign again.
That could be one of the reasons why he's pushing for the fight. Well, I'm sorry, BDA, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Finish your point. I'll go next.
That could be one of the reasons why he's pushing this fight to be at 147, is because I've already beaten him. I want to be a free agent under my own thing. So if I push this and he declines it at 147, then he's negating his right of the rematch clause, and I'm a free agent again.
I agree with that assessment. I think that's exactly what he's doing.
Right now, I'm making the point to say the Benavidez-Canelo fight will happen next year, barring any unforeseen or catastrophic events. That the fight's going to take place. And listen, I remember a couple of weeks ago when people would call in and say, Fury's a duck, Fury Usyk ain't never going to happen, blah, blah. And I said, it's going to happen, guys. Just give it time. It's not going to happen when you want it, next week. And boom, all of a sudden we get this announcement, which again, it's shaky, despite the fact that supposedly it's signed. We just never know nowadays with the heavyweight division, but it's happening. And so I can say that Canelo Benavidez will happen. That's my intuition. I could be wrong, but it's my intuition because Canelo listens to what people say and he takes it to heart. I mean, just in the build-up to this fight, he kept hearing people saying, you're past it. You're no longer the number one pound for pound fighter, and that fueled him. He said it himself. I want to prove Charlo wrong because I did find a video that I had saved on my hard drive where Charlo was doing a live stream, and he said, bringing up little Canelo. He ain't got the skills to beat me. So he said it himself. So Canelo took that to heart, and he wants to prove that. And he knows that people keep bringing up Benavidez. So I'm telling you, my intuition, I don't know why, but that's the feeling I'm getting, that he's going to be fighting Benavidez next year.
88, he did exactly what you just said last night in the ring at the end when he said he repeated all the talking points that have been put on him. He said, I haven't lost my passion for boxing. Remember everybody saying he doesn't have it anymore. He just blah, blah. He addressed all that. He said, I love this sport. I live this sport. Nobody's going to beat me. And I'm pretty sure he said, go and fuck yourself, Mirage. I'm maybe might not have heard it correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
I think he did say that, but he said it in Spanish.
He said it multiple times to make a statement that because that was one of the narratives going into this fight, that Canelo's on the decline, that Canelo's not 100% into sport. Actually, somebody from the boxing community, like a trainer or a boxer, I think they said, I think it was Virgil Hunter. He said, when you have that much money, like, the classic, story that we hear that when boxers become too rich, they just don't have that love for the sport. And he said that Canelo didn't have that love for sport. So anyways, Canelo, yeah, he made that statement like 3 times. I love the sport, and I'm here to keep boxing, and boxing is my fucking life.
Yep.
That doesn't mean about Teddy.
He blew up Teddy Atlas's talking points.
No.
What I wanted to say about Canelo, about the David Benavidez fight. This is what I think is weird. Why I think the fight might not happen. Because if the PBC knows how to do their promotion, everyone knows how to do this. If you wanted your guy to fight him next, you would have had him at the fight, because they asked Canelo about David specifically in the post-fight interview, and he said, "Yeah, we'll see, whatever, But if David was there, they would have had the camera on him. He could have stood up. He could have gave Canelo the double middle finger. He could have jumped in the ring. He could have towered over him and said, "What's up? You gonna fight me or what?" But he didn't do none of that. And I don't know, it's because he's dumb and he didn't want to show up and do that, or if someone told him, "Hey, don't show up to this fight, bro, and don't do that. We don't want to. We're not pushing for that next." That's how I see it.
That's a good point.
Because he's
probably the latter.
Well, what's the plan then, Jimmy? I mean, if it's not Benavidez next, then what's the plan?
Well, it probably might be. Well, if it is Benavidez next, then they'll try to maybe re-sign Crawford and get him to do the third. Think about that. The biggest fight would be, Al Haymon and 2 other, guy from Golden Boy and fucking Top Rank. How fucking delicious is that? But anyways, yeah, I don't know going forward. Maybe it's gonna be morale. I don't know, but there's a reason there's weight divisions, and you can be as big as somebody, but when you're not getting punched, like you said, oh yeah, the weight was a problem. Like you said in the ring after the fight, he's like, yeah, there's a difference, man. The power, you feel that.
I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see
that?
Crawford. I don't want to see Crawford Canelo, but sometimes I do want
Neither
to
do
see
I.
it just because people are talking about it, just because people are saying that Crawford beats him and all of that, then I go like, yeah, I want to see it. But other than that,
Canelo gets nothing to win. Like for instance, I'll take a prime example. This is just a snapshot of it. You got Ottman going on saying Charlo's gonna fucking Charlo because he's an FBA. He's, I guess foundational Black American is gonna beat him in the 10th round. Believe that. Noted. Big fuck kept tweeting that kind of shit. Then he went in after the fight and deleted all of them, and then put out a fucking on the Twitter talk that Canelo deserves zero fucking credit for last night's victory. Like that's just the mindset of his detractors. That's like there's something wrong with you when you're like that. That's your social media presence. You're predicting the dude to lose, and then when the dude defies you, makes you look like a knucklehead, you turn around and say deserves no credit. And that's how like a lot of that fan base is. But the facts don't matter. Yeah,
they're not sports fans at all. They're fanboys of a particular person for regard, whether it's ethnicity, whether it's popularity, whatever they're into to get into a particular fighter and follow them that die hard. They have this mental alliance with someone, and not so in NFL, when you're diehard, blah, 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 you're there for that team. You're not there to watch football as a whole. When it's boxing, it's individual. There's one person you're following, and that's who you're just aligning yourself with. That's who your allegiance is with. When there's no real allegiance, I mean, it's one person who doesn't know you, who's never met you, who's probably going to sign one autograph and never remember you outside of a picture that you might take with them. But people have this tendency to really lock onto this. Now, I'm guilty of it to an extent. When I like a fighter, I'm all on board, right? But at the same time, being a panelist, I try to be as objective as possible when it comes to certain things. If my guy loses, hey, I made a bad call. I picked Ryan over Tank because I thought Ryan was getting better fighting these isolated, smaller mismatches. And so I read into something that wasn't there, and I admitted it. However, I'm not really a fanboy of either guy. I was objectively making a call. Some people can't swallow their pride enough to realize the fact that, guess what? This isn't a reflection on you. This is just something that you follow.
Because some people, they think that their character as a human being, as a man, is on the line. It's not. I mean, this is fucking boxing, guys. Lobito's Boxing Breakdowns. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Bucho, just woke up. Why shutting me out? Because you're fucking cutting off Never Sowers, and then you're getting mad. Like, you have a delay. Remember, you're in the Philippines, all the way in the Philippines, so there's a delay. So, like, I thought you understood that. Chris K, thank you for your super chat. Canelo couldn't stop Charlene because Charlene ran. He's asking a question, because Charlene ran, or because Canelo throws too hard now. Even 2-punch combos would help sneak in hard shots. Even 2-punch combos would help sneak in hard shots. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Like, I was gonna ask you guys, were you disappointed with Canelo loading up on those punches? At some point, I was like, guys, try something else. Like, Jesus.
A little bit, and now to touch on this a second is the fact that I'm not sure if there is a sign of a decline by the fact he's never been overly active. But in last night's fight, what made it easy for him was that Charlo didn't try. Now, I'm not saying that Charlo could have ever beaten Canelo, but if he would have put up more, like really put something on his punches to try and literally defend himself with his fists, and Canelo's only throwing an occasional jab and no real combinations, then that would have made a big difference in how that fight would have played out the rest of the way. And so, again, I can't say this is a decline. Canelo's never been a guy who threw on the average as many punches as most middleweights and super middleweights. He always throws fewer. He puts a lot of stuff on his. But it's almost like when he was loading up after he threw his, Charlo would clinch, but then he was just fine with taking a break for, 15, 20 seconds of just moving around and not doing anything. I think that it would have changed the landscape altogether if he would have put more punches together. And why he didn't is a question that Dora and I talked about. I think there was a particular part roughly around the 10th round when he's like, I can knock this guy out if I really put the pedal to the metal, but I'm light years ahead of him in this fight, and this guy is not trying. So, I'm going to he didn't go on cruise control, but he didn't take it to the next level to try and really go out of his way to stop him after about the 10th round.
Was he focusing too much on a stoppage?
Early on, I think so, yes.
That's what I thought.
And when you're trying to, like, if you're trying to box somebody, you're trying to get somebody's rhythm, there's no rhythm to gather from him. This kid wasn't trying to engage. So in order to double up your jab and move in on somebody, it's hard when this dude's not doing anything, especially when Canelo's kind of a counterpuncher by nature. So when the dude fought the way he did, and Canelo realized every time he hit him, he was hurting the kid, so he figured, fuck it, all I have to do is shock him once and then able to jump on him. But you see what he did, dude? He caught him with that right. It shook him a little, but didn't have him on square feet. But just enough where he couldn't focus where Canelo was, and he just knew shots were coming at him, so he took a knee. Not from a body shot, not because if I don't take a knee, this dude's going to knock me out. Well, in essence it is, but it's because he really couldn't see the next punches coming. And he was so afraid of getting hit by one that he took a knee.
Right, no, that's for sure. Yeah,
that wasn't a full-fledged knockdown. He did take a knee.
That was smart.
Oh, yeah, he purposely took a knee because he couldn't see. But usually you do that after somebody's been, like, really shook and you get a couple of combos. He just didn't want to engage. And so Canelo's like, fuck this, I'm not going to kill myself running around the ring showing new wrinkles. Just follow this knucklehead around and punch him in his face every now and then and take these pity patter up on my toes fucking counters that weren't doing anything.
But Canelo sometimes, I think, believes too much in his power, especially that right hand. He doesn't even set it up. And Charlo would be able to see it, and he would, be ready for that right hand. So, I don't know. I think Canelo sometimes gets a little bit too much repetitive and predictable. But I think he knew he had the fight. He was gonna win it easily, but I don't know. I just don't like that. But whatever. He still dominated Derrick Charlo. By the way, guys, let's move on. Let's talk about what some people want to talk about here. A lot of people, I should say. Lubin versus Ramos. Lubin won a decision. Some people I'm calling it a robbery. There's a poll, guys. Please vote. So far, we have 38 votes. 92% say Ramos won the fight.
But he did win the fight. I would say he won the fight too overall. But he's got nobody to blame but himself. Think about it. He's dominating this motherfucker. Dominating him. Mm-hmm. The 7th round comes around. And he says after the fight, well, I wanted to show a different wrinkle. What? How to throw a fight? How to lose a fight? Like, how to, just stop working? I'm thinking, at the time it was happening, I'm like, maybe he broke his hand on the top of that kid's head. Is that why he's not throwing his combinations, throwing punches? To act like I wanted to show a different wrinkle that I could, dude, that was insane. Obviously, they wanted to give it to Lubin. And you have to think that in your head that I'm hearing the PBC. There's a good chance, especially where Lubin's been with Heyman for years. There's probably a chance if they have an opportunity to take it from me, I'm not going to allow it. And then he sees what happened almost every time the PBC fights now. For him to say, now I know not to keep it in the judge's hand, shame on you, dude. You shouldn't have kept the shit. You know what I mean? So,
but Jimmy, no, I
don't
agree.
Himself to blame.
He became a different boxer in the after round 9 or something like that. But still, Jimmy, do you think he should have lost the fight?
No. Let me make that perfectly clear. He still should have won that fight. They still fucked the kid. But if he would have fought just even the way he was fighting in the previous 8 rounds, they wouldn't have been able to do it because it would have been too obvious. He gave them the opportunity to fuck him by his decisions. You know what I'm saying?
But some people are saying that if he wasn't of Mexican descent, that wouldn't have happened.
Of course. Let's be honest. I mean, how many fucking incidents and examples you're gonna have to see. Heyman will always favor the black fighter over the Mexican. He uses Mexican fighters as fodder, as people to get his guys' names off of. It is what it is. It's been going on for 8 years. There's example after example after example of it.
Although I think he was happy for Barrios last
Jimmy.
You think who was happy for Barrios?
Heyman. Because even though it was, he by the even so Ugas is Cuban. He's like more of a black Cuban, for lack of a better way of putting it. Ugas is not going to help sell anything down the road. Ugas is not going to being cannon fodder in a stepping stone or digging someone up for a quick title defense because you got nobody else to use. Ugas doesn't bring anything to the table outside of people that just like to try and overrate Ugas, who I've been saying for a couple years now is a highly overrated fighter. And the fact that you can nag age and the spin speeding all you want to, he lost to Barrios. Okay, he lost to Barrios. What does that tell you? We know exactly how good Barrios is. Now, back to Jimmy's point, I think he's happy that Barrios won that fight because now when he's using Barrios as the stepping stone that, according to Jimmy's theory and philosophy, which I'm not arguing with, he can make some money off of that now because he can put Barrios in there. Well, he just came off of one off of Ugas versus, he's gonna, Ugas is the opponent.
Ugas,
okay,
but he's black, but he's not African American. So I think Jimmy's point still stands, though.
In the fact that he already served up Barrios twice too. He already served him up to Tank and he served him up to Thurman. So he already got it. Yeah.
He's a good.
Well, yeah, but was he trying to serve him up to Ugas or did?
No. I agree with you on that, Chief. I don't think they wanted Ugas to win that.
Oh no, I agree with you, Chief, on that.
There's no upside.
Because they can use Barrios just to talk up Tank now. And he's a placeholder. He's an easy placeholder for anybody that they have options now for someone they can make an interim champ at 147 because this guy's beatable.
Right. We got a super chat from what's his name? Gonzalo. No seas joto bucho como Vega. Listen, Gonzalo, deja de actuar como un pinche chango y te dejo entrar. All right? Or else, fuck it, man.
I don't know what's going on. Now, is Lalo still on this chat? Where is he? How come he isn't talking?
He was chimping out. I don't feel like handling a chimping out moment right now.
I caught the end of that. I went to the bathroom. I just caught the end when he... Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, sorry.
I'll finish. Chris Guy, thank you for your super chat. He said Al Sharpton had it 118, 110 for Charlo. Okay, what the fuck? All right, so I think it was a robbery, and I agree with Jimmy as well that Ramos kind of fucked it up at the end, but still, that's not enough. Like we all agreed, it's not enough for Ramos to lose the fight. Yes,
that's a good point that Aldo made yesterday on the Discord about that. He said if the decision would have gone to Charlo, you would have had a lot of people saying, yeah, Charlo won, man. I mean, hey, he boxed well, he was on the move, Canelo was throwing one punch at a time, but because the decision went the way it should have, they can't say shit. So you're seeing it with the Lubin Ramos fight. Even Kevin Cunningham, his trainer, certainly didn't think that he won the fight. If you watch in between rounds, he was screaming at them, what the fuck you doing? Did that sound like a guy who was confident that his fighter was winning? So yeah, man.
You have 3 minutes, he said. You have 3 minutes to win this fight. At the 12th round, that's what he said going into the 12th round. This is it. You got 3 minutes to do something to win this fight. He knew it was lost.
The fact that Lubin said, people said I'm a stepping stone. I won this fight. And he sort of repeated. So if you won the decision, you don't have to repeat. You don't have to say I won the decision. So he knew that the fight shouldn't have gone his way. But I mean, it's boxing, man. I mean, it's Patricia Morris Jarman. That's her name. She was the one with the weird haircut that you could see during the telecast, judging the fight. And she's another. What's the other guy? The woman, Bird, Adelaide Bird. She's another one. She's gotta go. She's gotta go.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. That really helps the show. Nerd in the chat says Lubin dominated with his jab. Ramos' movements were off all the time. I don't know. Dominated.
I mean, Ramos was parrying and blocking everything, man. It was a defensive display he showed there. I was surprised at how easily he was outboxing Lubin. I was surprised that he never hurt Lubin because Lubin has a mediocre chin. So that was two surprises right there.
I was actually surprised it went the distance based off of Lubin's chin and his chin to stamina ratio. Like he either fades or he gets knocked out or a combination of the two on his bigger fights. So I kind of thought that's what was going to happen here, especially since he's long in the tooth and a little bit past his best days. I thought this was actually supposed to be a stepping stone for Ramos instead, but I was wrong.
In the chat, the Blame Boxing says that's the problem. You still watch fights with commentary. Guys, were we maybe influenced by the commentary? I'm being serious. This is what the guy's saying. I mean, the commentary. Maybe that's why we thought Ramos won, because the commentary, they had Ramos up. So
Well, the fact that he landed more shots, landed the better shots, controlled the distance, controlled the pace. He fought at his pace. He was the ring general. But yeah, it was the commentary.
I mean, I think Cunningham, Lubin's trainer, he must have been watching the fight through the TV too with the commentary.
because he was saying you got 3 minutes.
He certainly didn't think that his fighter was winning, man.
All right.
He said the TV's saying you're losing.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine he's fucking schizo. The TV's telling me you're losing. And Lubin's like, what? What the fuck?
Because they probably got people watching it on a device just to see what how they're scoring it. And even Steve Farrod had him losing.
So what's the deal with Steve Farrod? He's no longer on the. What's the deal with Steve Farrod?
In the corner, hey, Steve Farrod just said that you're losing the fight, man.
The fair way for me to put it is Al Bernstein's a pretty objective guy. I've never really noticed him to be out of his way of for a house fighter, and very often. I'm not going to say he's never done it because I haven't paid attention to him as much since he joined Showtime. But all through ESPN and everything else, he was always very objective in calling what everybody did or what somebody wasn't doing needed to improve on. He's always been a good commentator. He's been very relatively objective most of his career from the best of my knowledge. But the fact that he was saying that Lubin should have lost, and he didn't use those exact words, and then when they were judging the Canelo fight, and he was like, well, based off of my performance tonight, because of the Lubin fight, he clearly thought Lubin lost. And now, if you want to say that the commentators were swaying the opinion, well, know the character of the commentators. Al Bernstein's not a company guy. He's not one that usually jumps on board, and he may fluff a guy a little bit up on a no-hoper of on a show box of someone they're trying to build up. Okay, maybe that's the case. When it comes down to an objective fight, he's never really been the kind of guy that ignores what's in front of him and only screams for the house guy. Now, if he's done that and I've been unaware of it, please hit me up in the chat and help me catch up. But no, I've never known to see that. So if he's the one saying this, then we're only influenced by the facts of what we've seen in front of us based off of the people of a trained eye making the same assumptions that we thought.
Well, some people are saying we're just crying. That's what some people are saying in the BDA Discord chat after the fight. They say, you guys are just crying.
Who's crying? I didn't give a flying fist fuck about that fight at all.
Yeah.
Me either.
It's interesting how some fights turn out because most people were expecting that one to be the entertaining undercard, and it turned out that Barrios versus Ugas was more entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. Don Chile Relleno, thank you for your super chat. He says, every PBC event, there's always a controversial robbery for an Afro Anglo. And again, another reminder, Booty Juice slurps Lion Legal's Booty Juice. All right? That's he's going after Booty Juice and Lion Legal. Lion Legal, if you're listening, please call in. I remember you were very confident that Jermel was going to stop Canelo Alvarez. We would like to hear what you have to say. I'm going to start the phone call soon. By the way, guys, just a question. Are you interested in Jermel versus Crawford?
No, not. I'm more interested in Canelo versus Crawford. The real pound for pound. Two undisputed double champs going at it. That's what I want to see, bro.
What do you guys think? Because Jermel was calling out Crawford. Jimmy?
Yeah, he just wants another payday, bro. That's all it is. I think that's all it is. He wants to, I personally think fucking Crawford does the same thing to him as I did to Spence. He's the same fighter. He does the same thing. Basic 1-2, head on the line. What's that, Bucho?
Can we start acting like Jermel's career's over, basically? Because that's what it sounds like. Like, no, we don't want to see him against Crawford. Then who do we want to see him against? I guess Team Zoo?
Oh, that's the fight I'd like to see because that's the one he's been ducking for a couple of years. And although Sue is about to fight another, like Sue's been taking on guys he hasn't had to take on. He's been taking on tougher fighters, and he's taking on a kid next to who dropped, who stopped Fonfora. So he's not ducking people, and but. We'll see. I just think, listen, Charlo is who he's always been, a very gifted athlete. But he came up against a fighter last night.
Yeah.
I get it.
And we saw the difference.
I'll piggyback off of that a little bit. They are gifted athletes that have never really had to challenge themselves, either one of them. Much like Spence, to where everything was just they were getting by on all of this natural talent. And I'm not going to say they didn't have bad trainers, maybe some excellent training, but a lot of things were just like put in front of them on a plate almost for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Spence finally stepped up against someone that could actually wanted to fight him back and was going to try and beat him to come hell or high water against Porter, arguably lost. And when he found someone that definitely was going to not take no for an answer, he got destroyed in Terrence Crawford. The only thing that's going to make me interested in Mel versus Crawford is if Mel goes down and defends against Tim Tszyu first and wins in any, I won't say any fashion, but any convincing fashion. It doesn't have to be a knockout. If he actually, if it's a dog out, what's it called, a dog fight, and he somehow ekes it out, even if it's a decision that could go either way, I'd be interested. If he dominates him, I'd be interested. Anything outside of a controversial gift win, I'd be interested in Crawford, Mel, if he beats Tszyu. I think Tszyu's the one he needs to go after first, and that's what's going to sell me on whether he's just a paycheck fighter for the rest of his life, or if he's really serious about anything. If he's serious, then I'd like to see him against Crawford. Otherwise,
Jermel has to regain your respect. Is that what you guys are saying?
The limited respect I had for him, yeah.
The limited. Oh, gee. All right, guys. Let's take a few phone calls here, and then we go back to the pound. 619, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, basically, I think Crawford Charlo just went for a paycheck, man. It's quite obvious, and now I'm thinking Crawford. You know how he was kind of feeling himself, and he was a pound per pound, and it was pretty impressive to everybody. I think Canelo took that spot back, man, that shine of like. I think he's trying to be seen as the number one pound per pound again. And I think Crawford, man, might be having second thoughts about fighting Canelo the way he looked last night, man. With that power. What do you guys think? I think Crawford's a dog. He has that dog in him, but I think Canelo is just a dog all the time. Would you guys agree or not?
Guys, is Crawford now looking at that power and going like, "Fuck it, I don't want to even try to fight Canelo"?
No.
All right.
No, but I would say no because Crawford would give himself more of a chance and say, I wouldn't go in there and fight like that. This dude fought scared from the first round to the 12th, you know?
Well said, sir.
All right.
Yeah. But I think...
Pay me off for what... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't think he even tried to exchange, man. I think if he would have exchanged, Canelo would have beat him up worse, man. And I know that Crawford's gonna try to exchange, but honestly, Crawford is a good fighter, and not to say that they will have exchanges, man. But when it comes to the power department, man, that's the thing. If Crawford, I've heard it said, you guys all know that he's been buckled before by Mean Machine, Gamboa. So I'm not saying he's not gonna go out and try to fight and bring that dog, but I think he's just gonna run into like a locomotive, man. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, maybe, possibly. We'll see what happens. But what? Yeah.
I think that Charlo already said he's not interested in fighting people like Tszyu, man.
Yeah,
he only wants big names.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's to say that fight's even gonna happen, man? And I think a more viable course for Charlo would be for Crawford. I mean, would try to beat Charlo, take his belts, and then go challenge fight Tszyu and try to become undisputed at 154, and then possibly that'll give the Canelo fight more of a people will want it more.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? Maybe Jermel will come back down to reality and understand that he has to fight guys like Tim Tszyu. He needs to redeem himself after this performance. All right, Jose, we need to move on, but thank you for calling. All right, call back again later. Call back again if you can. All right, ciao. All right. We have a super chat from Gonzalo, I believe, again. And he says, Bucho, tienes miedo, Simón, a la verga. All right. I think you should, like, get some coffee or go to sleep or something. Let's take another phone call here. 210, you're on the air.
What's up, guys? Southpaw Lefty.
What's up?
Hey, man. Enjoying the show. Hey, I appreciate y'all doing the show last night. I called in a little tipsy, but no, it was a kind of a letdown. Like I know y'all were talking about. I agree with Jimmy with the undercard with Ramos, man. Like I think he won, but man, it was a stinker, man. Like you're on a co-main event on a major pay-per-view under Canelo. That's the stage, man. What was he thinking? Like, he just shit the bed, man. Like that's not going to get people going. And then when he got robbed, I think it got robbed, but I'm like, I wasn't mad. I was like, that's on him. Just like Jimmy said, it's crazy, man. And I also agree with him about the Barrios thing. You know, Barrios is, I can see them maybe trying to serve up Barrios to a guy like Boots. Now he has a title. I mean, once you get that title, he has to fight somebody now. But, yeah, man, the Canelo influence is strong, man. It's funny, we saw Showtime with the, saying, Tank's the face of boxing. As soon as Canelo landed, they changed that up real quick. They stopped saying that. But Benavidez, Benavidez, I like Benavidez, and I'm not even a Canelo fan, man, but I'm just telling you, man, like, these pro PBC guys, they just keep falling for the hype over and over and over. Like, they didn't learn off of Wilder. They didn't learn off of Fulton. They didn't learn off of Spence. And I think Benavidez gets knocked out. He opens up too much. He's way too tall. The body's wide open. He squares up. Canelo needs openings. That's why he didn't get a knockout, because Charlo didn't give him any openings. He just survived the whole night. But he'll knock him out. I think he will fight him. He's going to knock him out. And then it's just going to be egg on their face all over again. These guys are gluten for, what do they call it? Gluten for punishment? And I think it's the same with Tank. There's a reason he ain't fight nobody, man. I mean, thank God, the Derrick James, I feel bad for the guy. I think he told Martin, I think he called him up and said, hey, man, I can't be taking 3 L's in a row, so we can't do that Shakur fight. Can you imagine if they had signed that fight and Derrick would have got like 3 washes, back to back to back? But, yeah, man, I just think there's levels to this, and we're seeing that the PBC, that their whole universe, when they try to just isolate themselves, that they're not on that level, man. You've seen all these guys come in, and Bud and Canelo, they're just coming in collecting scalps. I don't think they're gonna fight though. I think I rewatched the Spence Bud fight last night when I got home, and I turned it up real, and I'm like, man, I don't hear that thud. Like when Canelo was hitting Charlo on the shoulders and the gloves, you just hear that heavy thud. And then it's just weight classes for a reason, man. I think they're gonna keep. It's smart that they're using each other's names. That's bouncing each other's names off, because that's how gets built, right? So, but I just hope Bud doesn't get froze out, because he only has 1 fight left. I don't think the Spence fight's gonna happen, and there's a good chance that they just kind of freeze him out again. I don't think anybody's gonna want to fight the dude.
Well, we'll see, man. That might be a possibility, but we got other phone calls. Thank you for calling, all right? And for calling yesterday as well.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care.
All
right. Good call. Any from the chat, from the panel, do you guys have anything to say so far?
He's got some good points. As far as like nobody wanting to fight either Canelo or Bud off of their last performances, no, everyone's going to want a paycheck. But is anyone going to want to try to fight them to win is the big question. And we think Benavidez does, because, as Jimmy said, if he wasn't doing boxing for a living, he'd still be fighting on the streets because he's a fighter. But I think he's reached a peak level of where he's going to be as a fighter, and he hasn't stayed true to all the skills that he's had, which is why a lot of people think Canelo's got a shot against him. Let him fight Andrade, and then we'll see.
All right.
Well, and I piggyback off what the caller just said too about Tank. He's the next one. It's true. Listen, Tank was better 5 years ago when he fought Pedraza. Actually, it's 6 years ago now. Just look at that. You go back and watch that. How sharp he was, how quick his hands was, how he was darting in and out, throwing combinations. Now he's fighting Like he's 168 pounds loading up on one punch. And you can do that when you don't fear what's coming back at you or when the people, just don't have the skill set to compete with you. I mean, he weight drained and put in a fucking rehydration clause to an Instagram model. You know what I mean? What is he going to do? What do you think he's going to do against Shakur or against anybody else, any other lead at 135? I mean, he straight avoided all of them. He tripled Lomachenko. One time that fight came close to being made was when he had that falling out with Mayweather. Mayweather was like, okay, we're going to make that Loma fight. And he reached out to Bob, and Bob was like, okay, let's do it. And they started, then they patched up their little disagreement, and it was pulled back. And that's why anytime it was brought up around Bob would always say he got angry. Don't bring up Tank Davis when his own manager knows he can't beat him. You know what I mean? So that's who he is. But then they know that they got a certain segment of people who are going to show up. They can make a good gate. They scalp the tickets, so they make money that way. So they got a good thing with him, money-wise. And they just don't want to rock the boat. But you put him in there against anybody at 135, any of the top guys, champions, except for maybe Haney, because he could probably catch him and put him out. But Tio, Shakur, wash him. Even Lomachenko at this late stage washes him.
I agree with that. I agree. I've always said that he's overrated. And there's evidence for that. I'm not just saying he's overrated. By the way, Gonzalo with a super chat says, Eres Joto Bucho, me acabo de despertar. He just said, I'm a fag. I didn't say a word. He said he just woke up. And he says, you act like a woman. Listen, Gonzalo, I'm not going to let you in if you're fucking drunk. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm not going to waste my time with you. Mac Mall, thank you. Oh, no, Mac Mall, thank you. This is a super chat. This is something that Never Sober sent. Who's Mac Mall? He said, I think it's a tweet or something. He says, Canelo had 4 chances to stop Jermel, but he got tired.
That's just a random person I see, the kind of posts I see on Facebook. That's want to share what people are saying, how they're making excuses.
He says that's age and wear. Is that true? Is that why Canelo couldn't stop Jermel? He's old. A lot of wear and tear.
No, there were no openings. There were no openings. He tried to force openings, and then Charlo would clinch. Charlo's size is why he got away. His height, his reach, his probably he said he weighed close to 172 pounds. I don't know what Canelo would have weighed. So, but this physical size is what got him to survive. He has a decent chin. He's never really been down that I know of. He's been hurt a few times. Canelo hurt him, and when I mean down, I mean prior to this fight. Canelo put him down, but like Jimmy said, he wasn't hurt when he went down. He didn't know what was coming next, and he took a knee. He was bazed a little bit, but his knees weren't buckled. He took that knee out of his own willingness to lack of engagement versus the fact that his legs were rubber and couldn't stand up. Now, is this wear and tear on Canelo? I don't think so. I think the fact that the reason why I couldn't stop him was there just weren't enough openings. He would have just beaten on arms and shoulders all night.
Yeah. And anytime he got within arm's length, like he'd punch him in the shoulder because he took away that jab. Did you see that? Even Reynoso was telling him, the shoulder, you get in close because of the height, he's going to pull back, hit that shoulder. And it does. It fucking sucks. I tell people all the time, getting punched in the hip hurts. That's why Charlo pointed to his hip to the ref, like, God damn, because they'll give you a Charlie horse, like you just can't move. And you get hit in that shoulder, it's so hard to snap your fucking jab off. So he eliminated the jab. So now all he had, and that's why he was reaching out and holding on for dear life. He was like literally 2 feet away. And another thing you can tell when a fighter is completely like out of his element, when he's starting to load up and missing from far away. How many times did Charlo like throw this bomb? And it was like the crowd go, oh, because he was like, Canelo was like 3 feet away from you, dude. You missed that punch by like 3 feet. What are you doing? It was just a bad look.
We got another super chat from Gonzalo says, it's not true, eres bien mamailas. All right. This guy needs to go to sleep. Gonzalo,
I don't know what's going on.
I think he's still drunk from yesterday. I listened to the show that Mr. BDA hosted yesterday. That guy was fucking drunk, and I think he's still drunk. So, shit, you need to take it easy, man.
I think it's it's Canelo fight day. I wouldn't blame somebody for being hella drunk.
Yeah, that's probably true. Go to sleep. We'll do another show, and you'll be on the show. Don't worry. 323, you're on the air. 323.
Hey, what's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up? What's on your mind?
Well, I got a couple conspiracies I want to get your guys' thoughts on.
All right.
One of them is, the first one is, you guys think that Sean Porter looks dangerous? She looks suspiciously too similar to Clarissa Shields. Some people are saying that it's probably Sean Porter dressing up like a woman to fight.
They don't look alike. Clarissa Shields is darker.
She's got a bigger dick.
Okay.
She has a bigger dick.
Well, the second thing is, this is something that I just heard on another podcast, and I really wasn't paying attention to Crawford like this. But supposedly there's like this whole conspiracy about his gloves being padded and cutting a strap and then steroids and stuff. And to me, this is something new because, I mean, I viewed him as a great fighter. I mean, honestly I think he has a whole lot of talent. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Well, put it this way. Spence is a mesomorph body style. For a metamorph, someone with his body type after 18 years old still have bitch tit is almost an anomaly. It's like it just doesn't happen unless it's from artificial testosterone. Chubby kids, little fat kids with the, you go look, you got little bitch titties, you got little fucking girl titties because you're fat, you get a lot of body fat, it ends up in estrogen. But when a kid with a mesomorph body style gets it over 18, it's because they're taking steroids. So nobody from that camp better be complaining about fucking Crawford being on juice. I mean, there's a couple of fucking memes out there with Spence, man, looking all swelled up his chest, and you can see it. You can see the gyno. So I'm not saying he's still taking steroids, but he definitely took them at one point in his life. But I think that's just people looking for excuses.
I wanted to add to your comment from earlier. I don't think anyone should associate the word boxer with Ryan Garcia. That guy's a fucking clown.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he started to look like a clown.
Someone should get a sausage and smack his little brother in the face, man. That guy's annoying.
All right, caller, anything else?
That's pretty much it.
All right, thanks for calling. Take care. All right, let's take another phone call here. 336, you're on the air.
Yo, what's up? So, Bucha, I think you remember I made the $400 bet that Canelo would knock out Charlo. Yep. So I talked to BDA last night, and, I was shocked. I was talking with JDA as well, that Charlo did absolutely nothing to try and win the fight. I knew it was going to be, a one-sided mismatch, beat down, one-way traffic, everything you could think of. I had it 120-107 Canelo. The thing is, had Charlo come to win, he could have maybe won 3 rounds. He would have got knocked out, though. That's the thing. But he was content with surviving, using his frame, his size to survive. And honestly, I mean, this was just a cash grab from PBC and even the casinos. I'm sure there was a shit ton of people, like I was telling BDA earlier yesterday. If you look at the two-way parlay betting on Ramos and Canelo to win, it probably was a 3.5 to 1 favorite. So a lot of people put some significant money just to win a little bit back, and they robbed Ramos, right? And then I think that's what it was. And then with Canelo by KO, you let Harvey Dock, who usually does a pretty good job, let Charlo hold Canelo 50, 60 times, no points taken away. Whenever Canelo would try and bully him and move him off, so he could get his offense going, he would warn fucking Canelo and separate him and shit like that. It was just a fucking joke fight and a cash grab from the casinos and from the PBC. And that's why I hate these fights in Las Vegas, because it's just corruption. It wasn't Canelo's fault. I mean, I genuinely believe Charlo and Harvey Dock were given extra, resources and money to get Charlo to survive. I really believe that's what it was.
There was in Charlo's corner, they threw a bucket of water. Remember the old trick where to stall at some point?
Right, I saw that too. They did everything they could to have this man survive the fight, and that's what happened. And the Vegas made a good amount of money from it. But it was money I could afford to lose, so I'm not too hurt about it.
Right.
But with but with Crawford, I'm happy he didn't, call it that bomb fucking Charlo. Instead, he laid down. So that fight's not even worth anything to me. I'd much rather see Crawford fight Tim Tszyu. That facade and that fucking joke that Jermell Charlo did, he just scammed. He's a fucking con artist like Floyd. How he just scammed the fans. He never deserves a big fight again in the sport. It was a black guy in the sport. It did the sport absolutely no fucking favors. And there's this a show I want you and BDA to get together on and do. Let's talk about how overrated Undisputed is as like a title and a claim.
Yes.
Because I have 3 fighters in the back of, or like just in this era alone that come to mind that have never been undisputed. Estrada, Ioka, Chocolatito, and Loma. So 4 fighters have never been undisputed, and Charcoal isn't even half the fighters that are half the Errol Spence, and Errol Spence was undisputed, but Charcoal, who was undisputed, he's not even half the fighter those 4 are, not even close. So Undisputed is garbage. We should do a show rating undisputed champions and their run, and that'd be fun.
I'll do it this week probably. I'll do this.
That would be
next
pretty
show.
Interesting. But
all right.
Yeah. But yeah,
right,
I'm gonna go for now. That was corruption. That was clear fucking Vegas corruption in every aspect, right. And they fucked over Canelo's moment basically because it was a showcase fight for him, and they didn't even give Canelo a showcase moment because they let that fucking Crip hold and survive. And I'm out.
All right. Thanks for calling. All right.
Bucho, you want to hear what Terrence Crawford tweeted out immediately following the fight?
Go ahead.
First one was, okay, y'all, I'm over the twin Charlo. I'm over the fight. He's no longer on my hit list. He went out there and laid down. He let Canelo spank him like he was his daddy with no type of resistance. Congratulations, Canelo. You made, and this was another tweet, congratulations, Canelo. You made that so-called lion look like a baby cub.
Wow. Ouch. Awesome tweet, and I guess now we can say that the Charlo fight
30,000 likes. By the way,
yeah, I think that fight's off the table for a while. Like I said,
it is.
He has to go fight Tszyu in order to get his reputation back to try and get a fight with Crawford. Crawford's not going to be looked at as a duck anymore for not fighting this guy based off of what he just did to himself. So, and Adora's points. I agree with a lot of what he said there. And like I just said, Crawford doesn't need to fight. He does need the belts to try and market something better for a Canelo fight if he wants it, which I don't think we should have it, but a lot of people are talking about it. If people are talking about it, there's money to be made. If money's to be made, there's a shark out there in boxing somewhere that's going to try and make it. And that's just a fact. Like if I wrap up with, go ahead.
No, like you said, I agree with you. Jermell has to fight somebody else before. I mean, that fight with Crawford is not.
Yeah, he's not walking straight into a Crawford fight. He doesn't deserve that.
But I think that Jermell, that's what he believed. He's like, no matter what happens in this Canelo fight, I can always go back down. I still have like 3 belts or something, and I can still, I'm still the man at 154, and I can get any fight I want down there. And that's not the case. That's actually not the case at all.
One thing to wrap up real quick that Doris said is that Undisputed doesn't mean anything. It's circumstantial. He just made clear cases of how it doesn't matter compared to other fighters. He just named a bunch of fighters at 115 that are Hall of Fame legends that have done more than Charlo has his whole career. And I've said this many times that I don't respect Charlo very much because he didn't fight the better guys that were holding belts at the time, even if he fought the guys that beat them. But he never fought Hurd. He never fought Lara. He never fought J-Rock when J-Rock was at least somewhat decent. He fought all the leftover people that fought them, and they turned out to be nothing themselves. It's a division full of hot and cold, underachieving fighters. So you came out the top of the mound, but the mound turned out to be a molehill, not a mountain. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, so this is one part of your legacy is Undisputed 154. Great, but 154 is a crap division. Now what are you going to do? Well, he stepped up to quote unquote dare to be great, and I'm ranting on daring to be great is trying to beat Canelo, not accepting a paycheck for Canelo, which is exactly what he did. I'm done with my rant. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not gonna dare to be great. You have to try to win the fight. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, it's exactly. He dared to survive. That's what he did. He didn't dare to be great. You know what I mean? He went in and dared to survive. He had no intention to try to beat him. He might have until he got hurt. Until he felt that ginger power, and he wanted no more of it. He said, "Yep, nope, That's why I did all that road work. I'm running from this motherfucker. I'm going to do whatever I can to avoid fighting him. And the fact that that tweet has 30,000 likes for boxing Twitter, that's huge. Huge engagement.
Well, Jimmy, a lot of
13 hours later, 7,000 retweets and 30,000 likes. When Charlo reads that and he sees that interaction and sees all the comments, he's going to know. He did irreparable harm to his legacy, without a doubt. If he wouldn't have taken that fight and went on, say, eked out a victory against Sue, he could have been, they would have been talking about him going to the Hall of Fame. You know, he could have retired, but without that bag. But okay, now you traded off. You traded your legacy for that bag. Because I'll tell you right now, irreparable harm to his legacy forever.
By the way, super chat from Gonzalo says, "You're a woman, Bucho." I mean, this guy is out of control. He's the one acting like a 15-year-old girl, like fighting with no voiceover. You don't let me talk, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. Know your place, Gonzalo.
Damn, I missed all that.
Know your fucking place. All right. Let's take another phone call here. 631, you're on the air.
Yeah, I guess I'll go to the fight that really mattered here. So that robbery was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. I know people are saying that Ramos gave up the last like 4 rounds or something, but I genuinely thought he had like 8 in the bag. Like that shit was insane to look at. But yeah, I guess to get on to the Canelo fight real quick. I honestly thought Canelo looked pretty much better than I've seen in his last couple of fights. I think he is going to school David Benavidez, but it was just weird watching Charlo talk a little bit of shit, and then he became this like soft ass dude for like a couple of weeks, and then on top of that, when he went for the fight, I don't think I've ever seen such a toothless performance from an undisputed champion. I'm gonna put that in quotations at this point. Till this day. And I might be agreeing with that other dude who called in, to be honest, because if you look at the undisputed champions right now, I know it's not everybody, but I mean, you look at Devin Haney, we were like before, and people are saying that he would lose to Shakur Stevenson, who had 1 fight at lightweight, and Gervonta Davis, who barely fought anybody good at lightweight. You have fucking Jermell, who, let's be real, if he stayed at 154, we would have all probably picked Tim Tszyu to beat him. And again, Crawford, a guy who's never touched that weight class. I don't know, man. I kind of do feel like it's a bit overrated. And also, cause I see Blue Collar TV Sports in the chat. I get the idea of saying that fights where nobody really tried, those should be considered fixed. But I don't know. I see that happen a lot. And there's a lot of guys that just have like no confidence in winning at all. Look at Frank Martin. The dude literally was going to sell his O to Stevenson. That's the only way he was going to take that fight. Guy was going to ask for like 1.5 or 1.2 mil when he never made 1 mil in his entire career.
All right. So, you're still here. All right. So, I guess you were disappointed? Very disappointed?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Well, I think we
kind of weird.
We all are. Hopefully, what's the next fight that you're hoping for Canelo?
For Canelo, I guess Benavidez. Honestly, not because I think he's going to win or anything, or it's this huge big fight. I think it's just because he's going to bring a different dimension to the fight. So at least if he's losing, it's going to be in a different way than the last couple of guys I've been watching, who have kind of all been backing up and just waiting for Canelo to basically punch them so they can maybe get a counter off.
All right. Well, hopefully that happens. All right, caller. Thanks for calling. Call back again next time. All right. Take care.
And at least with Benavidez, that kid's a fighter. He's going to go out on his shield. He would never perform like Charlo. He would much rather go toe to toe and get, knocked out. I'd rather get knocked out. I mean, you get knocked out, you go in and you put it on, right? You step into the fucking furnace and you get slept. People are going to respect you more. If you would have went out and tried to go toe to toe with Canelo and lost by knockout, people would have said, "Hey, he shot his load, man. He tried to do it, but you didn't even try, bro. You just took everybody's money and then started making fucking comments about, at least I didn't get knocked out." Fuck out of here.
It was a pay-per-view. pay-per-view, and he fucked it up. 212, you're on the air. 212.
What's up, Bucho? It's JDA.
Yep.
Hey, Gonzalo, grow the fuck up. Bucho's taking his time out on a fucking Sunday. You've been calling like a drunken retard for the last 2 days. So fucking slow down. Number two, yeah, I'll never watch another Charlo fight again. Him and his brother should just find the nearest bridge and jump. It was a fucking disgrace. All he did was clinch. And like Jimmy said, at least fucking go for it. Like Lubin, remember when Lubin went for it with Fedora? We couldn't wait to see Lubin's next fight because he left it all out there. You get more fans that way. And fucking Charlo just stood there to survive. And Jimmy said this a long time ago, and I said this yesterday. Charlo is an athlete. He's not a fighter. I'll never fucking watch another Charlo fight again. He's a fucking disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace. How could you be fighting for Undisputed, fight for greatness, and then fucking all you do is just dance around the ring and clinch every time you get? Why can't they start taking points off guys that are clinching every 2 fucking minutes? It's a joke. This is why people are losing. This is why people are leaving boxing in droves. Shit like this. Oh, they got us again. They got us again.
They did.
With this fucking shit.
Do you blame Canelo as well for this?
I think he could have. No, I don't blame Canelo because, I think he might have could have fought a little harder. But what the fuck? It takes two to dance, and this asshole wasn't fucking. He was just staying away from him, dude. I fell asleep twice watching this fight. Twice. I'm not fucking around either.
He was not doing shit, bro.
I fell asleep twice. It's a joke. And seriously,
him an asshole.
Gonzalo, it takes. I'm seriously pissed off. Like I respect Gonzalo. Even though the time that he picked Ryan Garcia to beat Tank Davis, I was like, maybe this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But dude, these guys are taking time out of their day, taking their time out of their Sunday, and you're sitting there fucking trying to abuse this guy. Abuse your wife. If you want to argue with someone, go argue with your wife.
All right.
Stop this nonsense, man. These guys take time out of their day to fucking do something that we all like and enjoy.
Gonzalo, he's fucking.
And you're calling up and acting like a drunken retard.
All right. Anything else, Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Gonzalo, for fucking pissing me off.
All right.
Have a good night. Thanks, Bucho.
I gotta rewind, and like I said, I missed what. All that took place in the time I pissed. It was that bad.
Bro,
wow.
Just, just a little tipsy, bro. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not the first time we deal with drunk Gonzalo. He said he's not drunk. He just woke up, but I don't know. He sounded drunk as fuck. Well, we got more phone calls and we got recognized. So let's just quickly go with recognize and hear what he had to say. Recognize. All right, he's in the bathroom. All right.
You're still on mute.
Yeah, you're muted. Recognize. No, he's not there. All right, let's take a phone call here. 404. You're on the air.
BDA?
Yep, go ahead. This is Butcher.
Hey, how's it going? Hey. Yes, sir. How's it going? This is Coach Eddie from Douglasville. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're fine. What's on your mind?
Well, everybody's getting down on Charlo and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you got to blame the business of boxing.
Oh,
Canelo,
no.
Al Heyman. No, let me finish. Canelo and Al Heyman. Canelo can fight anybody that he wants to fight. They pulled a guy up from 154 pounds to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
David Benavidez is standing right there in the room with him. Demetrius Andre is standing right there in the room with him. David Morrell standing right there in the room with him. He's a full-size 168-pounders. Everybody, all these keyboard warriors sitting there saying what they would have did and what they would have did if they were in the ring. They never set foot in the boxing ring before. They never took a punch.
Well, Coach, But coach, to be honest with you, that was Charlo's. That was supposed to be Charlo's fight, the big Charlo's fight, the 160 fight. But he's the one who pulled out, and his brother said, "I'll step in for him." And the reason why Heyman gave it to them was out of loyalty. I can understand why Charlo's been with him since off the rip, and that was the only chance they were ever going to get that kind of life-changing money. So I understand why he kind of went with the Charlos. I didn't like the fight from the beginning, coming up 2 weight classes. But and the reason why they saved Benavidez for the last, ideally you save the toughest fight for the last. But I'm done.
Yeah, I mean it was a predictable outcome. Everybody knew what was going to happen. That's why the odds were what they were. And Terrence Crawford, if he gets in there with Canelo, the same thing's going to happen to him. And I'm not Canelo. I'm one of the biggest Canelo haters, but it is what it is. The guy is strong as a bull. He's built like a tank. Charlo landed several big punches on him. Canelo walked right through it like it was nothing. I mean, if you look at the press conference, Canelo's face was marked up pretty good. Charlo hit him with flush left hooks right on the chin. And Canelo, like it didn't even phase it. That's where the weight come in at, the power, strength. Now on that, Canelo's tough. He's good. He's a good fighter. And he's Coach. The one that decided that he wanted to fight at 154.
Coach, I think we agree that it was a mismatch in a way, or that Canelo was a big favorite. But what some people are complaining about is that Charlo, they say he could have done more. Do you agree with that? That he could have done more?
Put it like this. For all these people who saying coulda, shoulda, a lot of them never stepped foot in the boxing ring before. When you get in that boxing ring, your life is on the line. You could die in there. Okay. You could literally die in there.
Well, that's the way
when he felt those punches, he said, "I can't take this. I can't take it." So you know what I'm saying? He went into survival mode. He didn't want to get his freaking face broken.
Well, that's his problem.
Yeah, you're defending that. You're defending his cowardice. That's the problem.
But who is the orchestrator? Who's the reason for all this?
Well, Canelo
didn't have to pick the fight. You literally pulled up a guy that's a 154 pounder. You ducked David Benavidez. You ducked all the smoke that's standing in the room and you pulled up a smaller fighter. Like everybody surprised. Like
why did Charlo?
Did anybody get on?
Coach,
get on Callum? What about Callum Smith? He laid down. He didn't do nothing.
But Coach, why did Charlo
365 pounds?
Coach, why did Charlo accept the fight? Why did Charlo accept the fight?
Because they offered it to him as money.
Well, okay. So
they offered to his brother.
So he takes no responsibility in this. Then that's what you're saying, bro.
I'm saying it's a whole bunch of other people that
Benavidez fight was not offered to him. In fact, when Canelo was in negotiations with Al Heyman about the three-fight deal, at the same exact time,
he picked the easy fight.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He picked the easy fight.
No, he didn't.
And everybody acted like a surprise.
They've come out and said, but Coach, they came out and said, this is the names they brought to him. This is what we want to do. Benavidez is the one they want him to fight last. You don't put in your biggest fight. Okay, put it this way. If Benavidez is his toughest challenge at 168, why in God's name would you have him fight him first? Because if Canelo loses to Benavidez, there goes, it's going to take the legs right out of the next 2 pay-per-views. They're in this for the money, too. So clearly, they're going to have him fight going up to Benavidez. That's going to be probably the third and final fight. But it wasn't like, and at the same time, when Canelo was in negotiations with Al Heyman in Ohio, visiting with them, or Cleveland, the same time, they announced the Morrell fight, that Morrell was there were negotiations, Benavidez, with Morrell. So he wasn't even on the table. They were negotiating with Morrell at the time. So that fight wasn't even on the table for Canelo. It will be, and I believe it'll be the third fight and last fight he takes.
And as we've seen,
everything you talking about like Benavidez is a sure thing. I'm not even sure Benavidez is going to get past Demetrius Andre. Demetrius Andre might beat him because of the style matchup. Because of the style.
Maybe we'll see.
Because of the style. Because of the freaking style. Because Demetrius Andre he has a lot of experience. He's very crafty. He moves around, and quiet as kept, he's the harder puncher. He punches harder than David Benavidez. But one side power, Demetrius Andre has more power than David Benavidez. And I wouldn't be
All right. Well, listen.
I disagree.
The person putting on that.
All right,
The
guys,
person
we gotta
putting
move,
on that.
Chief, we gotta move on. Coach, thank you for calling. All right, call back again next time. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Coach, you always bring the heat, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, this is what we want. We want, this type of calls.
So
Scale
it
bender.
was the business of boxing. It was the business of boxing spawn why Jermell Charlo couldn't get his finger on the trigger, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. In my opinion, he could have done other
Well,
things.
I think he was right when he said, I think he was right. I just don't think he was insultive like we were. Like he just said straight up, when Charlo felt that power, he was like, yeah, no, sir, I'm good.
And even if that's true, though, he's blaming everything but Charlo for that factor. When Charlo realized that there wasn't anything left to win, he still tried to defend that mentality of it's okay for him to think that way as a world champion, and it's not his fault. No, as a world champion, this is what we think as champions throughout the world, specifically in this country, especially the American public that's paying for most of this. We expect champions to be brave. We expect champions to say no to danger, meaning they're not afraid of it. We expect them to step up. Now, there's a lot of manufactured greatness, but once you sign the contract and you're in the ring, and the coach did have a good point about the fact these men are risking their lives, but we're paying them to risk their lives, and they're willingly to accept those paychecks. So there is no more feeling sorry for. You've made a choice in life to do something. Now go through and do it. And if you don't, we should not excuse for you.
It's like you join the military, and then it's like you join the military and you don't want to go to war. No, I said you join the military and you don't want to go to war. It's like, well, that's the possibility when you join the military.
Thank you.
Right. No, and guys, like to put in perspective, the reason why I don't like when people start saying, well, but this is the fight game, right? When we say, well, people shouldn't have the right to complain. No, people can say whatever they want because we're paying their salary. The fight game is supported by us, the fans. And no other sport, every other sport has network contracts, has all kinds of sourced money.
Hey, Canelo, you work for me.
It's fully supported by fan base, by our money. And here's the thing: when I know the fact that Mickey Ward, that 2001 fight before Gotti, when he got the Fighter of the Year, when he fought with that I can't remember the Spanish kid's name. There was a war, and he eventually stopped him.
Wilson Rodriguez.
Yes, yeah. You know how much he made for that fight? Enough to buy a Ford Bronco and rent a house up in Hampton Beach for 2 weeks. And it was gone.
Ooh, that fight was so amazing, man. I was with a young lady, and she was like, "Holy shit!" Like she even said, "Holy shit."
I think his take home was after taxes were like $30,000.
Our time frames are off.
Guys, could you interrupt here? We have a lot of phone calls. We have 2 super chats. Uncle Pete Scalebender, he says, Coach's call right on the money. Just saying. He's just joking. Maybe he agrees with Coach. Flight.
How are we doing for the likes, though, Bucho?
We need to hit the like buttons, people. We are at 69 likes. Is that possible? Let me refresh.
Oh, that's bullshit. Start hitting the likes. We're going to make motherfuckers wait on hold.
69 likes, and we have 240 people watching. Come on, guys.
Bucho, you know that yesterday? Bucho, yesterday, when I checked out the show, I couldn't jump on. Yeah. You had about 700 people watching.
Yeah, people weren't.
That shit was insane. I was like, God damn.
That was a good show. Guys, check it out.
Hit the like so we're gonna let Gonzalo host the show.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, fight or flight boxing. Thank you for your juicy super chat, $50. He says.
We know what Charlo did.
He says this guy has no idea what he's saying. It don't. Madrazos. Is it Don Madrazos? What? It Don Madrazos. Anyways, but thank you, fight or flight boxing for your.
He's letting you know it's Don Madrazos that's sending that in.
Is what?
He's letting you know that it's Don Madrazos that's sending that in.
It's Don Madrazos. Okay, it's Don Madrazos. Thank you, Don Madrazos, for that. Really appreciate it. Juicy super chat. All right, we got a lot of phone calls here. Fuck. All right, let's go through them. 210, you on the air.
Oh shit! I already called, but hey, can I reply to that last guy?
Yes.
Okay. Just stop all lefty. Man, the one thing I can't stand is when people try to pull rank, like, oh, well, they never took a shot. And I'm sorry, man. Is he a coach? Because all it takes to be a coach in boxing is $60 in a physical, and you take a little test. I know people who are quote unquote trainers who have no business being in a boxing ring or even around kids. You know what I mean? I know people who quote unquote go pro. All you got to do is pass a physical and pay $60. I mean, it's stupid when people try it's stupid when people try to pull rank like that. I don't get it. And he's talking about he had Andrade, he had Benavidez right there. It's funny he's listing all these guys that were in the room. Well, you know what? You know what these guys are not doing? They're not fighting each other. They're sitting around waiting for Canelo. So what's the excuse for that? You know what I mean? It's just. I'm sorry, man. I just had to call because I can't stand when people say,
well, maybe he's. We don't know. All right, hey, caller, we gotta move. Some people are complaining that you already called, so people are.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's cool. I should have waited.
All right, no, it's my fault. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, we'll call him coach. He's a coach. We'll call him a coach. What's that? Recognize?
Payday. That's all Charlo came for, bro. Charlo didn't come there to win that fight. Payday.
Yeah.
Payday.
You mean he didn't do it for the culture?
I mean, he said it, right? He said he's doing it for the culture, but we know he's doing it for his culture, which is, his bank account. He said, I'm not getting into a dog fight with this dude. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna fight from the outside, get hit, hold. I'll go down if I feel like it hurts a little too much, and I'll just be happy with not getting stopped.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Exactly.
Let's take a phone call, a quick one here. Well, not quick one, but you know what I mean. 214, you're on the air.
Yeah, guys, I'm looking at this fight right now. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell some of these rounds apart. I think I watched it twice. There were some spots where Charlo really would try to make a dent in Canelo. I'm like, well, that's not working. He should have tried different things. I think he was really trying to hurt Canelo because that left hook got in a couple of times. But, man, I feel like he could have done a lot more. And I don't know. I agree with the caller that called before me that, the Shamel fight, I really wasn't thinking about it. I really wasn't interested in it. I should have made a video about it, but, I just know that the weight classes matter for a reason, and that Jamel, it's hard for him to dominate fights without hurting somebody. Have you ever seen him really, outbox somebody in a while? It's been ever since he got with Derrick James, he hasn't really outboxed anybody. So when he couldn't hurt Canelo, that's kind of his plan. That's kind of his stuff. He has to hurt you a couple of times to really get into the fight. That's how the fight with Castano was so good. He was able to hurt Castano, but Castano was able to overwhelm him. I mean, I know why this fight happened. It happened because they want to save up. They want to build up to the Benavidez fight. I get it. But, Benavidez is a big name. I check him out. Benavidez, even though he has an entertaining style for me, us boxing heads, I like Benavidez a lot. But he's just not. I go to what's that thing? Instagram, and I see guys like Demetrius Andrade even has more followers than him. Zurdo, all these guys have way more followers than him, and this guy is getting. Well, he doesn't get real knockouts, but he gets stoppages. He needed that stoppage over Plant, but he didn't get it, so that really didn't boost his thing. Because you call yourself a monster, you have to knock people out. But this fight, I didn't pay for it. I knew better, and I understand why people say that Canelo's fights can be boring because it's hard to tell some of these rounds apart. It's hard to tell.
All right, caller, thanks for calling. All right, call back again next time. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's take another phone call. 706.
In regards to sorry, go ahead, Butcher.
Yeah, next. I'll let you talk after. 706, you're on the air. All right, what's going on here? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm hanging up. I don't know.
What was that? What area was that?
Nice melodies.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone's gonna play us a song.
Butcher, what area? Playing guitar. 706.
What's that?
That's my hometown area.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Not where I live now. That's where I'm from. That's the area code to my area. I don't know if we had any fans down there on from the show. Anyway, point being, people keep mentioning Benavidez. Like the last caller said, Benavidez was supposed to have a breakout performance with Plant, whose biggest fight was a knockout loss to Canelo prior to. And so everybody's expecting the same thing. And what did Benavidez do? He didn't jab. He didn't set his punches up. He looked very limited. This is not the Benavidez that I think really exists, but this is how he fought that fight. What's the famous saying in boxing? You're known for your last performance. His last performance is he went the distance with a guy because he didn't use the basic skills he had to be able to set up in a very impressive performance. Now, maybe he tried too hard, but guess what? Now you have to try hard again. And it's going to be against Andrade, a tall, lanky southpaw. So if he really wanted to prove a point before, he should have destroyed Plant like he had the capability of doing. He crapped the bed. He didn't really show up to do his job because he tried too hard and he thought it was going to be easy. He didn't prepare correctly, which he hadn't done twice before, which is why he's an undefeated two-time former champ, because he doesn't prepare. Sniffs coke, shows up out of shape and not in weight. I applaud the fact that he has a threat, but he doesn't show the consistency to be considered a legitimate threat to Canelo, because he might, like Charlo, a hot and cold performer, he might show up against Canelo and be a cold performance. Until he shows he's consistently ready to take on the upper echelon on a regular basis, impressive every time, then he's just another name of someone that they want to try and see Canelo lose. That's all he is to me.
All right. There's Chief throwing some truth bombs.
Well,
yes.
I think Benavidez has a shot to beat Canelo though now. I'm not saying
I don't argue that. I don't argue that.
It's a good fight.
I think he has a shot to I wouldn't say stop him unless like fucking Canelo's just, really deteriorated or something. But I think he has the style to outpoint him, for sure, because he throws a lot more punches than Canelo. If he could take Canelo's punches, which I think he will, I think he could beat him on points.
But he's going to have to be more aggressive than he was at the beginning of the Plant fight and actually try to put meaningful punches out there. If he thinks he's going to walk in and it's going to be an easy fight like he did against Plant, which he shouldn't, I think he's smarter than that. But if he doesn't, then it's going to turn out to be an overhyped name again.
Well, he'll know once you sign to fight Canelo, that's the biggest fight you can, like that's the biggest fight of his career he could ever have.
True.
So like right there,
what's he going to do?
Yeah, that's motivation right there.
It should be. We'll see.
All right, guys, let's take another phone call here. 619, you're on the air.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hey, I totally agree with the callers saying that Benavidez, man, he has more to prove. Like, okay, he's gonna fight Andrade, man, but if we go back, Canelo has been. These guys have been waiting around for Canelo all this time while Canelo, went up, 3 different weight classes, and that translates into these other guys haven't been as active as Canelo. So what's going to happen when Canelo comes back and he beats up Charlo? What are they going to say? Oh, because of the mental illness, this, and that. Well, it's not Canelo's fault, man, because he's been doing his job. He's been staying busy while these guys have just been around waiting for him. So he's coming back and whooping all these guys, Boxing is a timing, but that's okay, man. These guys should have been busy and ready. So if you guys remember the lead up to the fight yesterday, Canelo said that Jermell, he actually deserved the fight because he was undisputed. And I agree with that. Canelo doesn't have to give the fight to anybody just because they want to see him fight, Charlo had merits, so I think Canelo's looking to fight fighters who deserve it, not just because they want to fight him. And also, we know that Canelo, he likes to fight tall fighters. So if you're looking at Benavidez, oh, he's big, he's a monster.
Oops.
To me, he just throws pity pat shots, man. Canelo throws bombs, and if I were Canelo, I would murder Benavidez's body, man. That's what I would do.
All right, Jose, we get the point. We got to move on because you already called in, and there's other people waiting, and they're going to get pissed off because, you already called in. But
okay, I got you, brother. I got you, man. Don't take it out on me.
No, it's fine. All right, take care, man. All right, let's take another phone call. 919, you're on the air, 919.
Yo, it's 150 Dream Team. They say so. Salute.
150.
Salute to the chat.
What's up, brother?
To everybody.
Oh, yeah. What's up? It's been a long time. Go ahead.
What's up, man? Yeah, hey, man, look, man, Charlo is a fucking clown, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just be honest here, bro. Like, me predicting this fight and being on these panels talking about this fight, I knew he was gonna fight scared, bro. You know, kind of like how Fulton fought Inoue and even Spence. You know, these guys, Spence showed more urgency. Yes, he actually wanted to win, you know, but they just fought scared, man. They fought scared. They knew they was fighting a legit fighter, and Charlo knew that, man. Charlo knew he couldn't win. He had no fucking chance, so he went out there and stanked the place, fought on the back foot, you know what I'm saying, pity-pat shots. Yeah, he landed a couple left hooks, but, man, that don't mean shit. Canelo got a granite chin, man. You know, the dude moved up 2 weights. I feel like he was a little bit slower. You know, it was just a bullshit fight, man, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I was never a fan of this fight at all. You know, Canelo did his thing. Canelo looked the same to me. He gassed a little bit. I think Canelo beats Benavidez. That style matchup is just, I think it favors Canelo, man. You know, he's just an aggressive fighter, just comes forward, fights out of high guard. He's got a lot of output, but Benavidez ain't a hard puncher, man. Trust me, bro. This dude's an accumulation guy, bro. He just throws a lot of shots. He puts a lot on you. He gets you out of it that way. He's not a one-punch power type of fighter. He doesn't have that power. I think Canelo's going to murder his body, probably stop him, bro.
So what do you think about
Canelo
people?
can stop him. I don't think he's ready.
What do you think about people who say that Canelo is avoiding or ducking David Benavidez?
Nah, man. Look, man, these people got to realize, man, the business of boxing, they're not going to put this fight out the first fight. They're not going to do that. They're going to marinate a little bit. They're going to build Benavidez up, you know what I'm saying, build his name. People just be acting stupid, man. Like, you know, they just want to talk shit, you know, on Canelo. I'm not a big Canelo fan. You know, I feel like he's cherry-picking the past. But you got to come to reality, man. They're not going to make that fight right now, man. They're just going to build it up. And they'll make it eventually. I guarantee Benavidez is the last fight. Mark my words. Anyone that want to disagree with me on that, we can debate it. Guarantee it. Guarantee is the last fight. Canelo's not ducking. He ain't ducking, bro. The PBC giving what Canelo, they giving him fights. Canelo ain't going there saying, yo, I want this guy, I want that guy. They throwing fights at him. He just taking them. He just doing his job. Exactly. He's fucking them up. It's a 3-fight deal.
Exactly.
That's what people got to realize here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Also, I want to say this too, man. Crawford's not beating Canelo, man. He's not gonna beat Canelo, man. Jumping up 3 weight classes. Yes, he's a skilled fighter. I would say he's more skilled than Canelo, but like the extra weight, he's not gonna knock Canelo out. Canelo's strong, you know. Yeah, it's too much to. Yeah, he's biting out more than he could chew with that type of fight. He won't win that fight, man. He doesn't win that fight. The only guys that beat Canelo, man, is the guy with like.
So it's safe to say Mexican boxing is number 1, right? Nick, say so.
Say it again, brother.
Is right to say that Mexican boxing number 1, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say that, bro. Look, man, I don't give a fuck about Mexican, black, white. It doesn't matter to me, man. If you skilled, bro, you skilled. That's how I look at it, man. But look, as I was saying, I'm gonna say this last thing, and I'm gonna let y'all go, man. The only guys that beat Canelo, bro, is guys with like good reflex, good forward, good defense. Like Mayweather's a nightmare style matchup for Canelo, and Bivol too, you know. And Golovkin, I feel like he beat Canelo too, but he had a good jab and decent defense. Good forward. He got good fundamentals.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. All right, caller, thanks for calling. All right.
Call. Hey, 150 real quick. Hit me up this week. Give me a message this week, and we'll catch up.
Nah, I'm off the.
I got Crawford beating.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? My bad.
All right,
say it again, Chief.
Oh, Chief.
I said, give me a message later this week, and we'll catch up.
He says to contact
oh yeah,
them.
for sure, man.
All right.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Let me know, man.
All right, see you, man. Hopefully you show up on the open lines Friday.
Yeah, man.
Take care.
Oh, yeah. I'll come around, man, for sure. Much respect to y'all, man. Much love to the chat, too.
All right, see ya. All right, let's take one more phone call, and then we'll take a little break here. 419, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Bucho?
Yeah, what's up? T-Tone? Nah.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, T-Tone, what's up?
Hey.
T-Tone.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Recognize? Hey, Last time when I talked, recognizing, like I said the whole time I was done, you know, I wasn't coming at you sideways, you know. I just got used to, interrupting me when I was debating after a few times.
Fernando Vargas. Those are good times, right?
Let him finish it a little bit. Go ahead, Tito.
Well, hey, getting back to the Canelo talk, Canelo the king. Is he still the king? Man, Canelo's always been the king. And, just getting my thoughts on there. And the people calling in saying, oh, Charlo, hey, man, we're all God's kids, man. And, hey, when you get hit, man, you don't want to get hit, even at world-class level. Charlo, I think he came to fight, but, man, he felt that power. And they say, the bigger man. No, man, Canelo is moved up from 140 and then 154, 147, 154, 160. Canelo's the one moving up in weight, man. So don't take that away. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Canelo's the one who's challenging himself. So, I had to put that out there. Hey, did you hear that, Bucho?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree 100% with caller. Great point, bro.
Yeah, Canelo also moved up in weight. Now he had more time to acclimatize, is that the word, to these other divisions, higher divisions. But yeah, he also moved up in weight. Go ahead, Tito.
Yeah, and all these people, they're really Canelo haters. Oh, Charlo moved up 2 weights. Man, Charlo should have been moved up. Hey, look at like what we've been watching. How long Spence stayed at his weight. It's not good, man. You got to move up after a certain time. You don't wait till your middle 30s to move up. Canelo's controlling all these weight classes from 147 to 175. Everyone wants to fight him. People say, who's the pound for pound? Man, look at what's happening in boxing. Canelo is running all these weight classes. When you look deep into it, he is, man. 147. These guys can move up. Canelo is the only one who's moved up 35 pounds, Hey, and let me get to Benavidez. Hey, Benavidez is a good fighter. But, man, Benavidez doesn't have a belt. If you're paying attention to Canelo already earned his legacy. Canelo, right now, I think he's got 19 championships. Man. And Canelo, he tied Henry Armstrong for holding 3 different weights at the same time. The first one to be undisputed at 168. And he's going to beat more world champions than Floyd. Well, Floyd's got 23. Man, Canelo's going for his legacy now. He wants to beat world champions. Benavidez is going to have to wait. And I want to see that fight too. But I want to see Canelo beat world champions to say, hey, I beat more world champions than you. So you understand that about Benavidez?
I understand completely. I think you're making some great points, man. Some great points. Anything else?
Yeah, hey, and you got to set up a kumite, Bucho, with these Canelo haters. When you set it up, I'll call.
All right, yes, a kumite. Yeah, we haven't had one in a long time. We should have a kumite. All right, I'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of hate going on right now in the boxing community. We need to settle that.
Hey, look, I haven't caught in a long time because you guys have been doing pretty good on defending Canelo. And remember back in 2019-20?
Yes.
I would seem like the only one.
Is that so?
Now you guys are doing pretty good.
Well, I still think you have to call in no matter what. All right, Tito?
Okay, I'm rubbing them. I got to rub it. Hey, all right, you guys have a good show.
All right, take care, man. See ya.
All right, bro.
And then I'll talk to you later.
Tito bringing that energy, always defending Canelo.
I'm still remembering the good times when Trinidad knocked out Vargas.
Yeah, he had to remind Puerto Ricans of some of the losses that they got. Oh no, yeah, he doesn't want to remember Trinidad. Let's see, what do we have here? Guys, don't forget to hit the like. Please hit the like button, please. It's really gonna help the show. Let's take another phone call here. 214, you're on the air. 214. 214.
It's Texas.
Texas, you're on the line. Texas.
I have some homies out in Texas,
All right. I don't know. We can't hear you, man. Let's go back to the panel here. What else can we talk about here? Well, recognize just. Well, I guess you already told us that Jermel went in there for a payday.
I think he didn't really. I don't think he really came in there. I had that feeling from the beginning, and he wasn't really trying to win the fight. I don't think he ever thought to himself, "I can beat Canelo." I think it was more like, let me see how hard he hits. If I think he hits too hard, I'm just gonna go survival mode, and that's what he did. That's what I saw. There was opportunities for him to like really step it up, but he got countered. He got hit. You could see when he got hit with those shots, he was just like, "Man, fuck this.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get into a dogfight."
He played it very safe. When you let your hands go, there's gonna be a moment where you're gonna be open, and he didn't even want to do that. Like he was extremely safe.
And Bucho, look, one of your callers said something.
Yeah.
That I kind of agree with, but at the same time I disagree. It's a choice. He said, when you get hit with a hard shot, it's not you that's getting hit with a hard shot. Listen, sometimes when you feel like you can beat somebody, that person hits you with a hard shot. It's just that you're motivated to beat that person. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't faze you. When you're afraid of a guy, everything hurts more because you over-exaggerate. You mentally over-exaggerate. So that's the one thing I've known about fighting, because I've done quite a few of it, and I'm not pulling rank on anybody, is that when you fear someone, everything bothers you. When you don't, it's like you could take everything that person is given to you, outside of you getting caught with a shot that you don't see coming.
Interesting point. Yeah, that's what.
So that's what I'll say about that.
He was uncomfortable the whole time, basically.
He was uncomfortable. So everything that Canelo did was like, oh shit, like he was bothered.
Like a caller said, the lack of power is something that maybe also surprised Charlo. The fact that because at 154, sorry, he has way more power, right? So he can overpower his opponent sometimes, and he can make his opponent respect him, but in this fight, that was gone. A lot of things that a lot of advantages that he had with other opponents at 154, they were all out the window. So yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not surprised the guy was like very uncomfortable.
And he's not gonna hurt. You could just look at Canelo's body size, and he's probably like, dude, I can't hurt that dude. not the way I was hurting these guys at 154 pounds. I can't do that.
Yeah. Billy Hoyle with a super chat. Really appreciate it. He says Canelo will easily close the ring on Andrade and Crawford. There's no sparring partner that can help you prepare for Canelo's new predatory offense. Right, maybe. I mean, yeah, that's true. Can you actually prepare for a guy like Canelo, guys?
Yeah, 1-2, little movement. Yeah. Bivol laid it out. You just gotta be disciplined. You gotta be as good. If you're not, Canelo's gonna get you because of all that. The one thing Canelo is strong as fuck. He may not have one. I have a feeling the reason why Canelo's not being as effective with his knockout power, that's because he's telegraphing too much. He loads up too much.
Yes.
I think if he was to go back to boxing and catch you with some punches you don't see coming, I think you'll see better results. But listen, dude, it's Bivol laid it out. Bivol laid it out there. And I don't think Bivol has great footwork. He has good movement. He knows how to switch up he knows how to change levels with his jabs, his 1-2s. But that wasn't a fucking brilliant game plan. That was a basic game plan to beat a shorter guy.
Exactly. And
yeah.
And when it comes to Canelo, the way he performed tonight, can he do the same thing against Benavidez? I mean, or what should he change for that fight? Because definitely he has to do something different. He can't fight Charlo.
Well, I think Benavidez is going to bring out the best in Canelo, because there'll be moments where Benavidez is out punching him, and maybe Canelo's not going to be laid back the way he is against somebody like a Charlo, right? he can smell that Charlo just wants to survive. If Benavidez goes in there and he's trying to win the fight and he's catching him with more shots than he is, that's gonna make Canelo become more creative and stop loading up with these fucking punches that the opponent could see coming from a mile away. I think you'll see Canelo start boxing a little bit more. And probably that's what he needs to do to beat Benavidez, believe it or not, is to box him.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what he has to do, actually. He's not going to go in there throwing haymakers.
Because if he boxes him, he got more experience than Benavidez. Think about that, right? He's got way more experience. And you can't tell me that Canelo doesn't know how to box, right? Like, that's the one thing he definitely knows how to do. It's in the memory bank. So turn it to a boxing fight.
I think that for this fight, I really think he was only focusing on a knockout. I think he was actually focusing too much on the stoppage. And why was he doing that? Because, again, the narrative going into this fight was that Canelo is on the decline. He's not focused on boxing anymore. He's not. His heart is not in the sport anymore. Jermell Charlo and other people were saying that Canelo's skills aren't that great, and so he wanted to show the people that he still had the heart and he could still stop opponents. But I think he overthought the whole thing and really should have boxed a little bit.
Canelo did some good work in that. Canelo did some good work for a guy who was like just fucking showing up and running. He did some good combinations. But I think that when you bring it to Canelo, okay, Triple G versus Canelo, I know that's obviously a long time ago, but the second fight, right? When Canelo said, I got to stand there with him. But that was boxing skills too. You know what I'm saying? There was.
Yep.
He was skilled. He understood when to throw punches, throw with him, block punches, shit like that. Like, if he can do that, and I'm pretty sure he could do that for at least one fight, and that would need to happen against Benavidez. He would need to be in that mode. Obviously, different styles, but that kind of mode for a fight like to win against somebody like him at this point of his career.
So he just said,
some fans might not like that shit. Some fans might not like that shit that he beats him in a thinking match.
I think so, yeah. But go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna just say what he's saying. I know he in the second fight with Triple G, he learned the important thing with Triple G. You can't let him set up. You got to get off first, and if you allow Triple G to set up in his stance, where he can deliver his jab with optimal force and his feet in a position to let go his right hand, it's never good. And he learned that, and so that's why he always kind of jumped in, and he took that distance away and had to keep making him reset. And, he's just a hard guy to hit, too. If you really look last night, I know one of the callers, the coach said that he caught, Canelo clean. I think he did catch him a few times, but nothing super clean. He caught him a couple of times, but he just didn't have anything on him. And again, it's like I said, Triple G, Charlo doesn't hit anywhere near as hard as Triple G. And if Triple G in that second fight, in that 10th round, Canelo took that shot and he went to the corner. And like I said, his corner always bring it up. His corner said, "You all right? Are you all right?" Because they knew his response. That was the hardest I've ever seen Canelo. And last night, even though his corner said, when you have to tell your fighter, don't get overconfident in there. Don't get overconfident. Sometimes it's hard to train a guy who's so far ahead or is having an easy time in it. Because then really, like, what do I have to say? You're winning every aspect of this fight. But you don't want him to make mistakes. And when you get a guy who doesn't want to engage and you want to knock him out, it's hard not to do that. But that's it.
All right. Let's take more phone calls before we go. 832, you're on the air. 832.
Hey, what's up, BDA? This is Eric from H-Town.
Hey, what's up? This is Bucho, by the way. But go ahead.
What's up?
No, I'm Bucho because there's... Anyways, whatever. Go ahead, caller.
Oh. Hey, a comment about the fight last night. It was okay. I guess Charlo did the sweet science style. the sweet science, and Charlo was on the bike all night long, and Canelo was just cutting the ring, just chasing him all night long as well. And yeah, that's about it. There's nothing
right.
nothing different.
All right. So what's next for Canelo?
I guess who's on the 3-man hit list? Against Andrade or Benavidez.
All right, caller. There's a lot of background noise, so we're gonna have to move on. But thanks for calling. All right. Yeah, I don't know. He's acting like recognized. No, Gypsy boxing style. Gypsy boxing style. All right.
Sound like you're spreading drywall.
It's the Gypsy.
Hey, you know, I said no. This is King Bucho, and then like he's like, what? And then somebody in the chat says the caller is like, who the fuck is Bucho? Anyways, let's take a phone call. 925 925. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Hey, BDA. I think you guys don't know nothing about boxing, man. Check this out.
Bucho hosting the show, y'all. Everybody calling and Bucho hosting the show.
Let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah,
that fight was awesome. You cannot do a great fight when you have trouble running, trying to survive, just trying to collect a check. You know what I mean? That's all he was doing, collecting the check. He didn't go in there to fight.
Well, we know.
So a lot of people expecting Canelo. Yeah, a lot of people, like you guys saying, expected is he declined? No, man, he didn't put a fight. Now, if it goes against Benavidez coming up next, let's say Benavidez beat Boo or Dude or whatever his name is. If he beats him, Benavidez and Canelo, that'd be an explosive fight. And I still got Canelo whooping him.
All right. Well, there you have it. So you don't want to see Crawford. You don't want to see Crawford.
Say it again, but
you don't want to see Terrence Crawford move up and fight Canelo?
Hell no. That's a joke. They asked Crawford. Was he running? Charlo running? Oh, that's just statistics. That's what you do. So that means he can do the same shit. Just come and collect. That's a dumb fight. I would not want to see that.
All right.
He will not give Canelo a fight. That fool would do the same thing Charlo did. Go in there and collect and run.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that.
I don't want to see it.
All right. Anything else, caller?
So, hey, I'm in Vegas right now, bro. I'm having a lot of fun, bro. I don't want to post a picture at the VIP up top, bro, with the bottles.
You got that next day party voice.
You guys so raspy.
All right, man. You guys stay up.
All right.
You got that next day voice.
Enjoy your day, man.
All
right. All right. Yeah, you're right. Recognize he has that voice where you've been like screaming and drinking and smoking.
You could tell there was drinking, smoking, maybe a little something else. You know.
Like this, man. Great party.
You know, everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. All right. We are done with the.
I'm not knocking it.
No, we're not. What else can we talk about here? I mean, did you guys catch the Australian cruiserweight Otape or whatever his name is? Forget.
You know, I wasn't paying attention. I did see Barrios fight. No, I saw highlights of that. Excuse me, I didn't see the fight as it happened. Barrios and what's his name?
Ugas.
Is that old Cuban?
I call him Deadpool.
Ugas. Yeah, there you go.
He looks like Deadpool.
Ugas.
Yeah.
Which is Spanish for I'm 62 years old.
I call him ugly.
Well, hold on. Did you see his wife or girlfriend or whatever?
Yeah, she's bad. I'll hit that. I'll tap.
There you go. I'm gonna put some pictures.
Get a big old ass.
Where are the pictures? Yeah, but
pop that. Hey, pop that.
Yeah. Clap them fucking recognize it. I clap them fucking cheeks.
I play basketball with those things.
Jesus, this is a family. This is a family show, man. This is a fucking family show. What are people?
I know. This is just. I apologize. I don't know why I even said that, but
grandma's watching. But anyways, what else, guys? I don't know. Kind of like already talked about this shit. I don't want to see Crawford versus Spence.
No, come on, man. No.
But
it's funny how many Spence fans are saying he's ducking him now, though.
But exactly.
It's just amazing.
I don't want to see that fight.
Ducking the fucking rematch.
I don't want to see that fight. But when I hear some people say that, oh, Canelo's ducking Crawford, or Crawford's gonna whoop him, then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do want to.
Yeah, 154. Yep, that's their thing. He was completely weight range. It'll be a completely different fight at 154, and you know it. So that's why you're ducking him. So they'll probably end up making it, and he'll probably like dick them around for a while, but then make it at 154, and then he's gonna fucking beat the brakes off him again at 154, and then hopefully those people, well, they don't have any shame. They'll just disappear for a couple of weeks and come right back, running their mouth.
Well, that's what sometimes makes fights exciting. Just you want to see the fan base from a certain fan base just cry, you know. That's kind of exciting.
I wish Chibi would have called in, because remember how upset he was that I didn't have Charlo? Dude, I can't believe you didn't pick Charlo.
Yo, Chibi's on a
Chibi.
A streak of terrible picks. Like seriously. Like, but anyways, maybe we should end the show, I guess, unless there's something you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, no, I think that's about it. Any news or notes, anything happening that we should be excited for? It's really looking more and more like that Inoue fight should happen, which that'll be real nice. If that against the Palace, if that thing goes down, man, I'll tell you, he gets fighter of the year. He gets, if he wins, accordingly, you know. He's pound for pound number one. As it is, I'd say he is already, just because of the competition he's fighting and how he's getting rid of him. To me, he's pound for pound number one, and a close second by Crawford. But you got to keep Canelo in there too. And no matter what, this is Canelo. No matter how many has fights left, it's the last of a generation. We're not going to see guys anymore with 60 fights. And there, but I'm curious though. I'm going to go back and watch the press conference, because I got to see. I want to watch live. I just want to see the reaction, people's faces on Floyd Mayweather, like acting like such a fool like that. That's just so ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
And you're right. Nobody's going to sign with him. That's the reason why Davis left him. Davis realized, he's like, Jesus Christ, every time it's supposed to be something about me, you make it about yourself. I mean, dude came out and said that shit.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a feeling Canelo's going to actually end up being like a golden boy. The Golden Boy Promotions, like De La Hoya, he's going to have, he already has his promotional company, but I'm talking about like being a serious promotional company. Just
he has a lot of stuff in place, right? He has the training facility that they own. He has a couple of them, I believe, that Canelo owns, and it's outfitted with the top end stuff. And so, yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it. It wouldn't surprise me, because he loves boxing. He might want to be in a part of it some way or another.
And he's not gonna be getting into cocaine or anything like that anytime soon, I guess.
No.
So I think he's gonna.
No, that's not his lifestyle.
Grounded, you know. He's gonna.
Very grounded. Yeah, wasn't it rumors that isn't he supposed to be taking off to New Zealand or something to play some crazy golf course down there or some shit? I read.
Probably.
Like he's flying halfway across the world or the other side of the world to play golf. You know you got fucking buku money when you can do shit like that.
Yeah. But hey, also Canelo sounds very smart in interviews and in the way he's managing his money. From what I understand, he's investing. I think he has his own like gas stations in Mexico.
Yep.
He says
gas stations. He's invested in car lots, gas stations, and a ton of real estate all over Southern California and in Mexico.
And the fact that he started learning English like 10 years ago or something like that. He understood that, you know, like I have to improve myself, and not only on my boxing skills, obviously, but everything else, you know, because it's no, that guy. I just want to say that guy sounds very smart, and so if he decides to really get into boxing as a promoter, I think he can be very successful.
And he could speak English for years. It wasn't his first language, so he's a very prideful person, so he didn't want to struggle in it. So that's the reason why he didn't bother. But he went from like you didn't think he could speak any English. Now he can have full conversations now.
Right.
In English.
Yeah. He had a bunch of interviews just in English. That one with Jim Lampley. And other ones.
Tom Brady.
Oh, didn't see that one. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, Tom Brady called him up to say congratulations and wish him luck and stuff. That he's a huge fan.
Wow.
And Canelo was very humbled, and he was very, it was two of the greatest of their generation talking to each other, giving each other props.
Jimmy, do you think that when Canelo's 45, he's going to show up at a press conference
and grab microphones? No, no, it'll be just the opposite. He's the type of guy when talking to fighters, I don't want to make this about me. I don't want to take any shine away from these guys. He'd be the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
He'd show the class and say, "No, this I don't want to make this about me tonight, guys. Come on."
All right. Having said that, let's end it here. We'll have more shows during the week. And thanks for being on, guys. Never Sobers.
Thank you for having me, Bucho.
Take care. See ya. Everybody on YouTube, I want to thank you for being on, for hitting the like button, and everybody who donated via the super chat. Where is the super chat thing? What the hell? I don't see the super chats anymore, but everybody who donated, Don Madrazos, thank you for that juicy super chat. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you have any ideas about what kind of topics you guys want to talk about for the next show, please let me know. You can contact me on Discord. That link is in the description. Join our Discord channel where we talk about boxing 24/7. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to upload the episode later on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker. If you want to download like an MP3 version of the show, you got to use Spreaker, I believe. It's free, and you can download the episode there. Or you can just listen to it on YouTube or Spotify. All right, guys. Have a nice Sunday. What's this?